you to today's game and ask that all fans act responsibly and courteous to those around them. For your safety, please keep your eyes on the field at all times as foul balls can and will enter the seating area. Here are today's starting lineups.
Welcome into Boulder, Colorado for Boulder Collegians baseball. I'm Jake Shapiro, soon to be joined by my partner Patrick Lyons. And tonight the 15-4 Boulder Collegians take on the Slammers. It's CU night here in Boulder, Colorado. We've got a special guest in the house that'll be joining us on the broadcast. He's throwing out the first pitch. We'll tell you about him in a moment. But first, we got to tell you about the Boulder Collegians because they swept their arch rival, Laramie Colts, last night.
They looked fantastic. Both come from behind victories. They got some late hits, clutch hitting from the Collegian hitters. And the bullpen was also a story that was overlooked. The fact that we had some great relief work by Devin Elson in Game 2. And in Game 1, John Kea held it down and Dawson Pomeroy came away with the win in what was a very exciting Game 1.
And Game 2 was exciting as well. Both of those games, the Collegians scoring runs late, including a home run from Dave Neal, who I caught up with for the pregame show. We'll hear from Dave in moments. But tonight's starter, Jordan Kyle, has been really nice for the Collegians, has run into some of the same problems that the other guys have. After the third inning or so, he's come a little bit undone, but he features some really nice stuff from the left side.
He definitely has the power pitching going for him and in favor. We haven't seen him strike out the same numbers he was early on in the season, but he definitely has the ability to strike out anywhere from 1 to 2 per inning at a minimum. And the Collegians are going to need them to do that for them today, as there were 2 games yesterday. There'll be 2 more tomorrow on the road, so it'll be nice to see if Jordan Kyle can right himself against this Slammers team today.
Yeah, a 5-game stand this weekend for the Collegians, and it's been a little bit rough on the pitching staff, and we've seen some changes in the lineup tonight as well, as Addison Kosh is back and leading off.
And that'll move Brett Erickson, the second baseman, down into the 9-hole, particularly because he has been slumping a little bit and is 0 for his last 9 at-bats. So leading off is, as you mentioned, shortstop Addison Kosh, who's back from a shoulder injury. Hitting second, the center fielder Nico Nincy. In left field at Barton Community College, Brady Mitchell. Batting cleanup, his teammate, the catcher, Brett Bonar. At third base, the number 5 hitter, Dawson Pomeroy. Hitting 6th, the Mr. Man who hit the grand slam last night, Bryce Bullock, will be the DH. Hitting 7th at first base is Mark Taylor. In right field, Marcus Altman, and double cleanoff. Double leadoff. Yeah, I got excited for it. Brett Erickson, he's going to do a nice job today in the 9 spot.
You have to keep Bryce Bullock in the lineup after yesterday. You hit a home run the day before. You come out and play the next day. And here comes our special guest out into the field. It's voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, who will throw out the first pitch. Need a ball, as manager Matt Senna will hand one to our in-game host, Allison Lowry, and we'll see what Mark can do here. Patrick, you always want to first pitch on the mound. Mark's going to go all the way to the mound. Hopefully doesn't bounce it. Not bounced. It's a success.
Caught a piece of the black.
84? 34. It was in at 34 miles an hour. And caught a piece of the black, as you mentioned. For the Slammers, they've got Nate Schrader on the mound. And we'll tell you about him and the rest of the Slammers order and fielding crew when we come back. But first, I want to tell you, we caught up with Dave Neal before the game, and here is Dave right now. Down here with Dave Neal before the game. Dave, home run yesterday, finally kind of getting off the schneid. You told me you made an adjustment. How nice was it to connect with the ball finally?
Oh, it was huge. I mean, I saw an opportunity with the pitcher. He was leaving stuff up. I just kind of went for it. I took a pretty healthy hack at I think the first or second pitch, and then the one that I saw up, I knew I needed to drive it, so I just threw my hands. The adjustment I made was real small, just loosening my front leg up a little bit, getting that foot down, and paid off, obviously. Got us on the board early, and that's the big part.
But not just you yesterday. The whole offense really got going after a couple quiet games and going into a 5-game weekend. How huge was it for you guys to really battle and get those big hits because it hadn't been coming?
Absolutely. It's huge. Bryce Bullock had that grand slam. That was just, I mean, huge for everybody. The comeback win, everything. It was just awesome.
The pitching has been terrific all season, and it was once again yesterday. Is it nice to back those guys the way you did yesterday? Because I feel maybe some of the guys felt like they were leaving some of those pitchers out to dry, leaving them, letting them down here recently.
Definitely. You want to support your pitchers. It's huge, and I think what that does is it takes pressure off of them, and then when they pitch well, it takes pressure off of us, and once we get that gel flowing, it's all uphill from there. It's good stuff, or it's all downhill from there. It's good stuff.
That's Dave Neal with the homer yesterday. Back upstairs. Back upstairs, it's Jake Shapiro, joined by my partner, Patrick Lyons. Collegians take the field after the national anthem. First pitch getting ready for you right now. Doug Hodges behind the plate. Daryl Dale Ferguson in the field for the umpiring crew. Jordan Kyle on the mound behind the plate. It's Brett Bonar. At first today, it's Mark Taylor. At second, it is Brett Erickson. Shortstop will be Addison Kosh. Third baseman Dawson Pomeroy. In left is Brady Mitchell, Nico Nitze in center, and Marcus Altman in right. Patrick, take us through the Slammers.
Leading off for the Slammers is the second baseman Luke Polson. In left field, Garen Safranik. At first base and hitting third, Zach Munn. In right field, your cleanup hitter, Wilson Helton. No relation. The DH is the number 5 hitter, Luke Bailey. Hitting sixth, the catcher, Jake Simmons. At shortstop, Kellen Pete will be your 7 hitter. John Harnett is at third base and hitting 8th. And finally, the number 9 hitter is the center fielder for the Slammers, Quinn Brazel.
Jordan Kyle taking his warm-up pitches right now. The Slammers in white, an off-white color with black and white stirrups. The Collegians in all white with red stripes and a red bill on their cap to go along with the white on the top of the cap. Getting set for first pitch here in Boulder, Colorado. Coming at 6:06 p.m. Weather in Boulder right now, the temperature is 83 degrees under mostly sunny skies, 21% humidity, and 3% or 3-mile-an-hour winds coming out of the north. Polson taking his first at bat. Luke Polson, the second baseman, stepping in. A smaller fellow from the right side will face the big 6'5" Jordan Kyle. Into his wind from the third base side. He fires. It's a fastball high that misses at 85, I'm sorry. Mitch Trinka on the gun right next to me. Kyle's second pitch, that misses low. It's 2-0. It's been essential for the Collegians pitchers to get ahead, as it is for any pitcher. 2-0. This one slapped into left field. It'll get over the shortstop Kosh's head, and Mitchell will field this. It's a leadoff single for Polson.
Nice piece of hitting for who will be a freshman next year at the University of Rochester. Polson getting ahead 0-2, waiting for the pitch that was his, that he liked. Starts the game off well for the Slammers.
Kyle's second batter here is the left fielder, Garen Safranik. And Safranik is a left-handed batter, watches ball 1. Left on left here for Jordan Kyle. Checks the runner at first and will throw a pickoff. The tag never applied by Mark Taylor. The throw was late. Pickoff yesterday was successful. Second time this season the Collegians have had a pickoff go for a success. Collegians have Kyle on the mound. His 1-0 pitch is a strike to the second hitter, Safranik, and it count evens at 1 apiece.
In Kyle's 4 starts, in Kyle's 4 games appeared, he has started 1 and thrown just 8 innings so far in the early season.
1-1 pitch hits Safranik, and that will leave 2 on to start the first here for the 3-hole hitter, the first baseman, Zach Munn. The Slammers are a younger team compared to what the Collegians have been playing. We'll see if they possibly get anxious in a spot like this. This is a 9-inning game as well, non-league game, I should mention. Kyle in a bit of a jam to start in the top of the first. Scoreless game. 3-hole hitter on. Leadoff hitter on second. First pitch is fouled off. It'll get out of play.
You mentioned these players being a little bit younger. They're also a little bit smaller. Jordan Kyle, 6'5", is facing the first 3 batters that are all no larger than 6 foot even.
Kyle in the stretch, comes set, checks the runner at second, then delivers the 0-1. It's a curveball in there for a strike. He's ahead 0-2. Munn, the batter, playing first base. On first is Safranek, the left fielder. On second, the second baseman, Polson. 0-2 from Jordan Kyle. Slapped into left field, down in front of Mitchell. The throw will not be in time. The run scores, and it's a 1 RBI single for the first baseman, Munn. So already the Collegians get in a spot where they don't want to be in. We saw this actually in the first game of the year when they were playing a team that they were expected to beat in the Denver Browns. They surrendered a run in the first, then came back and with a big rally in the bottom half of the first. Right fielder Wilson Helton steps up to bat. Batting cleanup, runners on first and second, no out. Kyle in the stretch, comes set, delivers. First pitch, a fastball on the upper corner for a strike. Beautiful day in Boulder, Colorado. Rockies had a day game this afternoon. It's been pretty all day. No rain in the forecast. 0-1. This pitch bounced in the dirt. Great block by Bonar. Neither runner moves up.
Impressive start for the Slammers so far, playing against a much more veteran team like the Collegians, but they have not been shaken and stepping out, coming out, putting their best foot forward.
Kyle's 1-1 pitch. This swung on and through and missed. Not a great swing there by Helton as that pitch bounced in the dirt, and that makes the count 1-2. Want that swing back. Kyle now has a chance here to get ahead. 1-2. No outs, runners on first and second. Kyle's pitch. Strike 3 called. It's a curveball that catches the lower end of the strike zone, and that's out number 1 in the top of the first.
And that strikeout puts Kyle even with 11 on the season, 11 strikeouts, 11 walks. Hopefully this is the turnaround that he needs to get back his confidence as well as his command.
Kyle's first pitch to the DH Bailey. It's a bit high on a fastball. Count goes to 1-0. Runner on second is Safranek. Got hit by a pitch. Munn's on first. He singled. 1-0 pitch from Kyle. Two-seam fastball catches the outer half. That's strike 1, 1-1.
Safranek not getting himself a very large secondary lead. The runner on first, Munn, is absolutely doing that as Taylor is not holding him on right now.
Kyle comes set. 1-1 pitch. Curveball that didn't break or curve, and it's too high. The count goes to 2-1. Kyle checks the runner at second, delivers on 2-1. Two-seam fastball fouled back, caught by Bonar on a foul tip, and the count evens at 2 apiece.
Kyle needs to attack this hitter and not lose him like he did Munn, who singled down on 2 strikes.
Scoreless here in the first. 1 out, 2-2 pitch. That's a bit wide. Bonar drops it, but nothing comes of it, just a full count.
Again, that lack of secondary lead by Safranek on second base removes an opportunity for runners to be at the corner.
Big full count pitch here with 1 out. Runners on first and second. The batter, Bailey, the DH. Kyle's full count pitch. It's a two-seam fastball fouled back to the screen. The catcher, Simmons, is on deck. We'll do 3-2 once more. Kyle from the stretch, comes set, checks the runner at second, delivers. Two-seam fastball on the inner half, strike 3. Kyle doing the work himself, ran into trouble here in 2 straight strikeouts, both of the looking variety.
after working Bailey away for the first several pitches, comes inside with the nice two-seam fastball to get Bailey down on strikes for the second out here in the top of the first.
Brings in the catcher, Jake Simmons. Runners on first and second still. 2 outs now. First pitch fouled back. Simmons, a sturdy catcher. One would call him an absolute unit by memes nowadays. Runner on first is Munn. On second is Safranek. Safranek hit by a pitch. Munn with an RBI single. Made it 1-0. Kyle's pitch on 0-1. Fouled back. So Kyle ahead 0-2 now, has a chance to strike out 3 in a row after surrendering 1 run on 3 guys in a row reaching. Catcher Simmons trying to prevent that. Kyle comes set. 0-2 pitch. Two-seam fastball, didn't catch the back door of the plate. Simmons takes a ball. Still ahead 1-2. Really like the way Brett Bonar calls a game behind there. Kyle's 1-2 pitch, runners going. Strike 3 called! 3 straight for Jordan Kyle. Capitalize the K.
Collegian fans, don't forget to follow the Boulder Collegians on social media to stay up to date with all things Boulder Collegians. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and like us on Facebook, and stay tuned for our social media contests later on in tonight's game. And you could win Collegian's prize pack when you enter the drawing at the concession stand.
Back for the bottom half of the first inning. Collegians surrender a run to the Slammers in the top half. Jordan Kyle strikes out the side afterwards, 3 in a row to get them out of a jam. Collegians batting order, we already ran through it. Addison Kosh back for the Collegians, and that is great news.
He's been their leadoff hitter for most of the games, actually sports the highest slugging percentage on the entire team due to his ability to hit some triples and home runs with men in scoring position. But he has been the table setter for the Collegians throughout much of the victories that they've had, and they've had quite a few of those victories.
So here steps in the right-handed shortstop, Addison Kosh, facing Nate Schroeder, the right-handed pitcher. Schroeder, an over-the-top delivery, misses ball 1. Schroeder from the wind, over the top once more, smashed into left field, will go foul off the bat of Addy Kosh. Kosh missed about a week and a half, separated his shoulder on a ground ball, completely untouched. He said it just kind of happens a lot to him, unfortunately, because it sounds painful. 1-1. Kosh smashes this down at the third base coach, and it appears everyone's okay down there.
Yeah, on that ground ball, it hit the lip of the grass, popped up, and he just reached up very high. I thought it was a pectoral muscle tear, but as you mentioned, it was a dislocated shoulder. Thankfully, he's back in the lineup today.
Schroeder ahead, 1-2. From the wind, gets a sign from Simmons. Into the windup, delivers, and the 1-2 pitch is fouled off very high down the first base side. It gets out of play.
Schroeder will be a freshman this fall at the University of St. Thomas in Minnesota. A few of the Slammers players will be playing ball in Minnesota next year.
Not much of a spring season there in Minnesota. No. Gets pretty cold. Schroeder ahead 1-2. We do it again. Into the wind, delivers a pitch that bounces in the dirt. Count evens at 2 apiece. Good crowd here for CU night at Scott Carpenter Park. Collegians trailing 1-0 in the top of the first. Addy Kosh at the bat, 2-2 count from Nate Schroeder. The pitch, it bounces in the dirt again.
And outside of what Cash provides as a hitter, what he provides as a leadoff hitter, taking pitches here in the early going against Schrader will prove valuable for the Collegian hitters who will need to make adjustments throughout this game.
Schrader's 3-2. This one bounced over to the third base side, humid across the diamond, and couldn't be scooped. Call that an E5. Good speed from Addy Kosh forces the error on the errant throw, and the Collegians have their leadoff man on.
We saw it yesterday with the third baseman for the Colts, Joe Brazil, how he had some difficulties over there at third base. Did a nice job on most of those plays, but the hot corner here at Scott Carpenter Park is one of the more challenging ones in RMBL.
Now stepping in is Nico Nincy, had the game-winning hit in the second game last night. Schrader, we see, has a very pronated setup coming out of the stretch. First pitch is a ball away from Nincy. Nincy, one of the best batters on this team by statistics thus far this season, goes to Adams State. Plays center field for the Collegians. Had some base running errors yesterday. 1-0 pitch misses outside. It's 2-0. Talked about it. He's going to try and clean those up. Those were 2 costly outs. Thankfully for the Collegians, neither actually cost them. Runner on first is Addy Kosh, just reached on an error. Schrader, the starter, about 8 pitches in with a pickoff attempt. Kosh is back in safely.
Kosh not taking a very large lead, conservative one at that. Has just 1 stolen base on the year so far. Not a typical leadoff hitter speed.
He's got some pop, though.
That he does.
2-0 from Schrader. Kosh is taking off. His slide is safe. He had a great slide to get around the tag from the shortstop, Kellen Pete, and the throw beat him there by a mile.
And a nice effort by Pete where he came across the bag, but you hit the nail on the head. It was because of that slide coming wide on the outside part of the bag that got him that stolen base.
Nincy ahead 3-0. Schrader on the mound. His pitch, it's a curveball that's in there for a strike. No one's ever going to swing at a 3-0 curveball. Guess if you could drop it in there on 3-0 with a curveball, you might as well. Like I said, no one's going to swing at that pitch.
Though it's been over a week since we've seen Kosh on a field here for the Collegians, I feel like we've seen this setup before, and it may be typical to see Nincy line a single back up to middle for the first run of the game for the Collegians.
So Nincy will be targeting towards the scoreboard, that right center gap. The center fielder knows it, is shaded over. Quinn Brazel. 3-1 pitch. This one hit to left center. Brazel going back. Coming in is Safranek. He'll make the play, and that is an out as Nincy records the first out in the Collegians first. He flies out to the left fielder. Brings up the left fielder, Brady Mitchell from Barton Community College.
Mitchell played both games of the doubleheader yesterday, was 2 for 7, had himself a double. Sac fly, stolen base, reached on an error, 2 runs, RBI. Featured in a lot of the play in both games 1 and 2.
Schrader from the stretch, first pitch against Mitchell. He swings and misses on a pitch low. Catcher Simmons will go out and talk to the pitcher. I think they got crossed up. Pitch was not where Simmons was expecting it. There is a runner on second and Kosh, so you assume Simmons is running through the signs. Obviously, we can't tell because we're behind Simmons.
Interesting lineup here with Mitchell hitting third. No doubt one of the better hitters on the team, but he actually only has 2 RBIs to his name thus far.
Schrader checks the runner, 1-0-1 pitch. Mitchell will sky this into center field. Coming in is Brazel. He makes the play for the second out of the inning.
Catcher,
Brett Bonar to the plate. Haven't seen the pop in his bat the last few games, but can assure you he has it. Big swing from the left-handed hitting catcher. Runner on second is Addison Kosh. He reached on an error to start the inning. Nate Schrader trying to work around that right now. First pitch to Bonar. It's a curveball on the outer half for a ball.
Just missed, didn't have the movement that Schrader was hoping for. Simmons doing a nice job trying to bring the ball back over the plate. Home plate umpire Doug Hodges not having it.
Seeing the Collegians being patient, Nincy went the other way. This is some slower pitching than they've been used to. 1-0 from Schrader. That one misses as well.
And we saw that last night with the pitchers from the Colts with Castelvecchi and Cathay not bringing the typical type of speed that we've seen from a lot of the pitchers in RMBL, but that patience starting to take effect last night. We're seeing it again today.
2 outs, runner on second, 2-0 pitch. That one's in the dirt, and Bonar's ahead, 3-0.
And the real story of last night is those who were successful were the ones who were able to make adjustments during the course of the game. We saw Bonar do that, moving up in the box, moving away from the plate against the slower pitching. And that's going to be the story of the season going forward, is if the Collegians can watch the pitchers and adjust accordingly.
Schrader comes set, 3-0 pitch. Bonar swings and lifts this into right field. Moving towards the center fielder is Helton. He makes the play. So score that a fly out to the right fielder, Helton, and the Collegians go down without a big rally there in the first. It's 1-0 Slammers after 1.
Collegians fans, next Friday, June 29th, the Boulder Collegians will be hosting the first annual Ballpark Beer Festival. Many local breweries will be in attendance to serve you their delicious beer. $25 entrance fees give you entry to a doubleheader, unlimited craft beer tastings, a hot dog, drink, and a glass. See you all then.
I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been quiet for so long. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been silent for so long. I've been quiet for so long. I've been quiet for so long. I found peace in your vibes. Can't show me there's no point in trying. I'm at one, and I've been quiet for so long. I'm in need of a savior, I'm not asking for favors.
Back up in the booth with my partner Patrick Lyons. It's Jake Shapiro for Boulder Collegians Baseball. They trail 1-0 heading into the second inning. Starter Jordan Kyle facing 7, 8, and 9. We'll start with the shortstop, Kellen Pete. We're joined by voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, throughout the first pitch tonight as well. Jordan Kyle's first pitch, a fastball on the outside for strike 1. Mark, first time you threw out the first pitch somewhere? Or?
Yeah, this is the first time, and I didn't realize the jugs gun was going to be on me. So I found out my heater's 34 miles per hour. So I was hoping to at least throw my age, but that didn't happen.
At least if you hit your weight and your batting average, I think that's okay.
I'm not sure that's going to happen either, to be honest with you.
Kyle's second pitch misses. It's 1-1 into the line. He throws here. It's a curveball on the inner half. Strike 2. He's ahead 1-2 on Pete. Mark, how excited are you for this football season coming ahead? I know when you first joined the Buffs, you had some good teams. Kyle's 1-2. And that's a fastball on the outside. Strike 3. 4 straight strikeouts, all looking from Jordan Kyle. When you first joined the Buffs, some really good teams, and then through the middle there, some rough times. But lately, it's starting to get back to, really the McIntyre era. We're starting to feel something with Mac in the air. How excited are you for fall camp, which starts here in about a month?
Well, I am. I saw the other day Phil Steele, by the way, said the Buffs, he expects to be the 4th most improved team in America in 2018. Phil Steele's a pretty sharp guy, and pitch outside.
There you go.
Yeah. So I feel good about this team. Obviously, the Pac-12 slate is going to be very tough on them. Going to Nebraska, very tough. CSU, New Hampshire. I know a lot of folks don't think much of New Hampshire, but they're coming in here. What is it? 4 straight years they made a 1AA playoff. So I think that, it's a challenging schedule, but I expect this to be a better team than last year.
2-0 pitch is in there for a strike on the curve to the third baseman, Harned. So better year for the Buffs. We saw some exciting Buffs news earlier this week as George King was drafted by the Phoenix Suns. We both know this kid really well. I call him a kid, but he's my age exactly.
Well, you're a kid, by the way.
Thank you, Mark.
Yeah.
And when he first came into CU his first year as a redshirt, as Kyle surrenders a walk, he was a really raw player. He had some good talent, but he's that rare guy that maximized that talent, worked hard, and his great personality showed through, and he found a way to get into the NBA draft.
Well, he's the kind of guy that just physically is going to be, on the upper end of the scale when you're measuring athleticism. He's got a chance. Like his former teammate Andre Robertson, or I guess they just missed each other, didn't they? To be a defensive rebounding kind of guy that could stick in the NBA for a little while. So he's got a chance. And it surprised me a little bit that he got drafted. I thought that was maybe a long shot, but I was glad to see Phoenix take a shot at him. And so, I want to see what happens. But those kind of guys that can rebound, defend, and are that athletic, I think teams will reach on them a little bit, and maybe they did with George a little bit.
Brazel tried to lay down a bunt, pulled it back. Count moves to 1-1 as Kyle delivers a strike there. You talk about that with the Phoenix Suns, and they went all Pac-12 in the draft there with DeAndre Ayton. They had another Pac. They had Chimenzi Metu as well. Good to see the Pac-12 having a good draft despite the poor season in NCAA play.
By the way, how about those two athletic big guys?
Right?
I mean, there weren't two more athletic big men in college basketball than maybe those two, obviously. And so pretty impressive. But, yeah, Pac-12 has got some questions to answer after having a disastrous postseason both in football and in basketball last year.
What are you looking forward to this year outside of the Buffs in Pac-12 football? Most of the names that we've come familiar with is this pitch by Brazel is lifted into right. Moving in is the right fielder Altman. He'll field it on one hop. It's a one-out single for the 9-hitter Brazel, bringing up the second baseman Luke Paulson. One of the things that...
By the way, good call. Somebody obviously taught you very well this past semester.
Thank you, Mark. Mark Johnson, for those of you listening at home, was my teacher for my play-by-play class.
I didn't have to teach you much.
Oh, you did. You taught me a lot. I don't know about baseball, but
no, that's true.
Football and basketball, certainly. Football-wise, all those names are gone, all those quarterbacks we've come familiar with. So who are you looking forward to see this year in football in Pac-12 play?
Well, I think from a team standpoint, I think one thing we got to see in the Pac-12, somebody has to become a let's say, leader of the pack, if you will, pardon the pun, in terms of being a national contender. Washington's been good the last couple of years. Obviously, USC's talented. But the way the Pac-12 was in the postseason a year ago, going, what was it, 1-8, Utah with the only victory? They've got to have some more success and have somebody that's a national championship contender, I think, in 2018. I think that's important. Basketball, they've got to do the same thing, get somebody going deep. I think the Buffs have got a chance, by the way, this next season to be a very good team. But I think from a football standpoint, Jake, that's the one thing that really hurt that conference last year was what both football and basketball did in the postseason, and they've got to rebound from that.
Kyle at 1-1, the pitch to Polson that's fouled back to the screen, moves to 1-2, has recorded all of his last 4 outs via the strikeout, could use one here, score 1-0 Slammers with runners on base, Brazel at first, Harned at second, the man at the bat is Polson. Kyle comes set, checks the runner at second, 1-2 pitch, on the outside, didn't get the call, thought he had it, count evens at 2 apiece. Mark, when's the last time you took in a baseball game in person? I know you come to a couple Rockies games every once in a while.
Yeah, I did PA for the Rockies 2-3 weeks ago, I guess, was the last time. After you're old and done this for so many years, you get so used to working games that you don't go often as a fan. So this is kind of a treat for me coming out here tonight. Great setting, a lot of fun. Listen, if you're in Boulder and you're a baseball fan, why are you not coming out here?
Right?
When the Collegians are at home.
And the first thing I say when I see this all the time, Kyle's 2-2 pitch with 1 out. That's a fastball, strike 3, 5 straight from Kyle via the K. And like I said earlier, capitalize that K on Jordan Kyle, right, Patrick?
I like that. That was spontaneous and absolutely right. His 5th strikeout of the game, and looking like he's finally figuring out where that strike zone's at with his backstop mate, Brett Bonar.
First of the swinging variety. But when I see this, every time I see this, I go, man, I wish CU had this team right here. They just build a bigger grandstand. Kyle's first pitch misses on the second hitter, Safrantic.
You are preaching to the choir, and believe me, every event I do with CU where Rick George is out there and opening up to boosters and fans for any questions, that's one of the first things that's asked every single time. When are the Buffs going to get baseball back? I'd love to see it.
1-0 from Kyle on the outside corner, called a strike by the home plate umpire, Doug Hodges.
But there are economic issues therein that obviously they'd have to figure out in one way, shape, or form. Probably not in the cards here anytime soon.
Yeah, and that is, of course, something I think every baseball fan is aware of. Along the front range, Kyle's 1-1 pitch is a curveball that drops in for a strike. But guys getting drafted in the MLB draft, that has only increased the last few years for kids from Colorado, as well as there's a couple minor league teams moving to Colorado upcoming here. 1-2 from Kyle. Curveball. Ooh, he was walking off the mound. He thought he had his 6th strikeout. Didn't drop in the way he needed it. Bonar thought it had it as well. Runners on first and second, 1-0 the score. Mark Johnson voiced the Buffs, our guest. Kyle trying to retire the side via the strikeout for the second straight inning. His 2-2 pitch. High will do 3-2. Runners will take off with the pitch. Good thing someone caught that gate down the line on the first base side. Had it opened up, the wind starting to blow a bit here in Boulder all of a sudden. Beautiful day, about 82 degrees. Temperature dropping. Sun will drop at about 8:33. Kyle checks the runner at second, delivers on 3-2. It's high. He surrenders his second walk, second one of this inning as well. Mark, when's the last time you called a baseball game? Because you had to have called a couple games back in, when you're coming through.
No doubt about it. I did minor league baseball early in my career. Of course, for a number of years, when I was still the sports director at KOA, I did a lot of Rockies baseball, and so called quite a bit of Major League Baseball for a number of seasons. But last time was probably a couple years ago, I would think. So I'm just sitting here taking notes, listening to you do the game tonight.
Good. I can't do it justice like you can, but we'll work there eventually. What was the best game you called? Because you had to call a couple good Rockies games through the middle there. I mean, Mike Rice has your job now essentially filling in with the Rockies, and he got to call the Kyle Freeland almost no-hitter last year.
Right. I called a one-hitter in Toronto a number of years ago. So, some great moments like that, game winners in extra innings, and it's a lot of fun.
Bounced down the third base line, foul. Thankfully, that would have plated 2 for the Slammers as the Collegians find themselves already behind 1-0 here in the top of the second. 2 outs, 1-1 pitch coming from Kyle.
And it was Zach Munn who singled in the first inning to give the Slammers their first run on the board. So there's history here between Kyle and the first baseman Munn.
Hung out with another Kyle today, Kyle Freeland. He was very excited to see some of the Rockies' top 25 teams. 1-1 from Jordan Kyle. This bounce to the third baseman, fielded by Pomeroy. He'll step on the bag at third and get the Collegians out of the inning. We'll come back in just a second with Mark Johnson. Collegians trailing 1-0 after 1.5 of play.
I'm here with Dominic, Ray, and Hayden. So what they're going to do is they're going to spin around 10 times. They're going to run down here. And the first one to high-five me wins. Ready, set, go!
Shut on your flame to the fire. It's spraying like your name on the flyer. They want to tame your desire, but you light it up like you ain't getting higher. I did wait for Messiah, but until that
Back in Boulder, Colorado, Jake Shapiro alongside my partner Patrick Wines, welcoming in voice of the Buffs, Mark Johnson, who threw out the first pitch today. Collegians trailing 1-0 against the Slammers as we head to the bottom half of the second. Dawson Pomeroy, who recorded the last out of the top of the second, is up at the bat. Pomeroy pitched yesterday, actually blew a save, and then went back in as a third baseman in game number 2. 1-0 pitch from Nate Schrader. That one misses. It's 2-0. The Collegians having some good patience at the bat throughout the course of his first few innings. This is a non-league game, too, for the Collegians, so we might see the lineup and roster get a bit funky as the game moves along. Schrader's 2-0. That one's in there for a strike. It looked like a changeup. Mark, we talked a little bit about the Buffs, but what do you do in the summer when the Buffs aren't playing? Because I know how rigorous the schedule is in the fall and the spring, but you got the summer off. You're like a teacher. Patrick's a teacher. He gets the whole summer to hang out.
I come and hang out with you at the ballpark and watch Collegians play. Today I was doing a horse clinic, and I fly fish a lot. So that's basically what I do with my summers. Oh, and I went, yesterday the Buffs have got a big recruiting weekend, and so I was helping out with some of that. So I make appearances and speaking events and all those kind of things.
How is recruiting going for CU right now?
You know what? After this weekend, we'll find out. But, they've got some great kids from what, if you're paying attention to social media, it looks like they got some great athletes on campus right now. And
full count pitch is rocketed right back at Schrader. That'll be an infield single. They'll go and check on Schrader as that pitch lined and hit him in the front leg. Pomeroy reaches first, and it brings up Bryce Bullock, the DH. Catcher goes and checks on him, Jake Simmons. Schrader says he's okay.
Pomeroy hasn't been retired in the past few games. He was 2 for 3 up in Fort Collins, reached on an error in the one time he didn't reach base, and was 2 for 2 yesterday in his one game. So although this is only his 9th plate appearance, he's been a tough out here in the early going for the Collegians.
So score that as a hit. That's the official scores note, and it should be because that was rocketed right back at the pitcher. Had no play there. First pitch in on Bullock is low as Bryce steps in after a great game and great 2 games yesterday. Great day overall. Had that grand slam the bottom of the 6th for the Collegians in game 1 and played really well defensively. He's DHing tonight as Addison Kosh is back in the lineup after a week and a half out with a shoulder injury.
When you look at the statistics of the Boulder Collegians, the one thing you can't see is clutch hitting, and Bryce Bullock has absolutely done a great job at that, particularly with his grand slam yesterday.
1-0 from Schrader. That one lifted foul back onto Arapahoe. You also got a new dog here recently, which is the cutest dog ever.
I did. It is the greatest dog ever. His name is Caliber, and so I'm training him. So that's also keeping me busy this summer. So, no, I get up to Boulder as often as I can, and like I said, do a lot of appearances and speaking events and those kind of things. Voiceover work. We're getting ready with all the ticket promos and all the things we do to get ready for the football season.
The stadium reads always make me laugh.
That's right. Got to do those.
No smoking in this section, that section.
A lot of rules. Someone's got to tell you about them.
Schrader on 2-1 comes set, looks at the runner at first. Big lead out there for Pomeroy. This pitch misses inside and high on Bullock. He's run the count to 3-1. Favorable spot. That Danny David Linehan coaching third today, by the way, Patrick?
Indeed, he made up the lineup card today. He's done it a few times along with Andrew Meadows, and as we know, he's definitely looking to become a coach.
3-1 pitch is a strike. Bullock didn't think so. It was on the inner half. Bryce is going to have to go back in there, and he'll probably have to swing after that little bit of a motion. Doug Hodges not happy about that, I bet. In the on-deck circle is Mark Taylor for the Collegians, the first baseman. Pomeroy takes off from first. Bullock swing, grounded between the hole on the third base side. That moves Pomeroy to third. He's in there safely with a head first side. Bullock has a no-out single that moves the runner over to third. Collegians threatening here in the bottom of the second.
Excellent piece of base running by Pomeroy, who was going on the pitch. That's what allowed him to get into third base safely and possibly allowing the Collegians to work their way out of a jam here in a sense, because Mark Taylor's had a rough few games in that he's hit into 3 double plays over the course of his past 2 games. He's had a propensity of doing that, but if it happens here in this play, a run will still score for the Collegians.
Taylor bounces this over to the second baseman, Polson. On to second for one. The throw to first, not in time. That will score the run. Pomeroy from third base. And we've seen that from Mark Taylor a few times. He's actually grounded into the most double plays on this team. But that time he beats it out, which is great news because it keeps the Collegians' rally going with 1 out instead of 2 as it scores the run.
There's only been 7 traditional double plays so far that the Collegians have hit into, and Taylor has 5 against his name. So it's nice that he was able to beat that one down the first base line.
First pitch, a strike against the right fielder, Marcus Altman. Marcus has been quiet thus far this season, but steadily chugging along. He's a really solid player from the right side. Taylor taking his lead off on first, 0-1 pitch. It scrapes the batter, Marcus Altman, right on the jersey. That'll bring up Brett Erickson.
Second baseman, Brett Erickson.
Erickson has struggled the past couple games. He's 0 for 9 in the past 3. But we know from his play at Barton Community College in Kansas, where he was the 6th hitter behind Bonar and Mitchell. So he's had a lot of RBI opportunities this year, and here he's got another big one in a big spot early on in the bottom of the second.
Altman on first, just reached via the hit by pitch. Taylor on second on a fielder's choice. Schrader on the mound, 1-1 the score, 1 out here in the bottom of the second. First pitch bounced right back up the middle, fielded by the shortstop. Over the bag, Pete to first for 2, and that is a double play to get the Slammers out of the second inning. I want to thank Mark Johnson, voice of the Buffs, for joining us here for the second inning. Threw out a first pitch. It was a strike. All that matters is you don't bounce it, right?
I didn't bounce it. That's the only goal I had. I hadn't thrown a baseball in 15 years. So even though it was only 34 miles per hour, mission accomplished.
Well, you did that. Thank you, Mark, for joining us, and we'll be back for the top of the third.
Number 40, Elton.
Welcome back to Boulder, Colorado. Special thanks to Mark Johnson once more. Jordan Kyle back to the hill. Tie score at 1 apiece at the top of the third. First pitch in against the Slammers. 4-hole hitter Helton is a ball. Kyle's got 5 Ks already, has looked really good working himself out of jams. Kyle from the windup on that third base side delivers a fastball, bounced over to the second baseman, Brett Erickson. Easy throw on to first to Mark Taylor, out number 1 in the third.
Kyle needs to do a better job with getting those first pitch strikes in the first inning. In the 6 batters he faced, half were strikes, half were balls on that first pitch. Second inning, not as good. Only 2 strikes on the first pitch. 4 had a ball on the first pitch, and we just saw a ball on the first pitch to Helton.
First pitch against the 5-hole hitter, Bailey, is fouled back.
And I think the difference of what we're seeing between Kyle and our 2 starters yesterday, Nathaniel Bresner-Mendoza and Race Gardner, is an ability for Kyle to be close to the strike zone when he misses. He hasn't been very close to the strike zone when he's missed, and that's been a negative outcome.
Ahead 0-2. Looking for his 6th strikeout. He's got 2 strikes against Bailey. Struck out looking his last time. 1-2 pitch. Outside on a curveball. Kyle is topped at 88 tonight. Curveball sitting around 75. Kyle ahead. Or tied. 2-2. Kyle's 2-2. Strike 3 called. Got Bailey looking again. Make it 6.
Number 2, Simmons.
Kyle absolutely mowing down these slugger hitters from the left side.
Kyle striking out his 6th batter, matching Bresner Mendoza from yesterday, who did it in 5 innings. One more that will tie him with Race Gardner's start yesterday in 4 innings, but again, we're still just here in the 3rd.
Kyle behind 1-0. The pitch, it's a fastball on the outer half, evens the count at 1-1. Kyle really getting into a rhythm out on the mound, dealing pitches about every 8 seconds. Into the wind, here we go again, 1-1. This curveball fouled back to the screen, and ouch. I know it hurts you at home because it hurts our ears here. Kyle ahead 1-2 against Simmons, the catcher. Into the wind, 1-2 pitch with 2 outs. Curveball looking, strike 3. That's 7 for Jordan Kyle.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Boulder Collegians are proud to give back to the community. For the 4th consecutive year, the Boulder Collegians will be offering youth baseball camps. These camps are a great way for youth baseball players to learn from college baseball players while having fun as well. The next camp in July is July 10th through the 12th at the Irish Baseball Field. For more information and to reserve a slot, please visit bouldercollegians.com.
Back for the bottom of the 3rd inning, Nate Schrader still on the mound. Collegians stranded 2 to end the bottom of the 2nd. Brings up the leadoff hitter, Addison Kosh, playing shortstop tonight. Reached on an error in his first at bat.
Kosh, definitely the Charlie Blackmon of the team, had 17 RBIs, and before Bullock's grand slam last night, he did lead the team.
Schrader's first pitch to Kosh, that bounces in the dirt.
Has the highest slugging percentage on the team, 409 on-base percentage, which is a tick higher than the club average. But Kosh has been the table setter for most of this year.
1-0 pitch. This bounced down the 3rd base line. It bounces foul. Kosh and the Collegians, 2nd time through here against Schrader, maybe will damage the Slammers' chances of winning this ball game. 15-4 on the year. This is a non-league game for the Collegians. Score is tied at 1 apiece.
Kosh fouled that one off the inside of his left foot. And he's taking his time getting back in the box, as it seems to be aggravating him a bit.
Yeah, he's hung up a bit, Patrick. Steps back in. 1-1 pitch from Schrader. That almost hits that foot. Thankfully it didn't. That's one of those when my dad, when I was a kid, I've got a boo-boo on my right leg. Why don't I punch the left leg, make it even out? Looked like it could have evened out there in the hit by pitch. 2-1 pitch. This lifted into left by Kosh. Sitting under it is Safranek. He records the first out.
What are the statute of limitations on child abuse, Jake? Are we recording this? Can we maybe go back and
I didn't say anything.
Wipe out that fly ball to left field?
Wipe out the fly ball to left and what I said before it.
For the record, I've never met Jake's dad, but I'm actually looking forward to it. I've heard a lot of great things about your pops.
He was at a Grateful Dead concert last night. He might be watching this. Who knows? First pitch is strike to Nico Nincy from Schrader. Has not strucken out anyone yet or walked anyone either. Hit one guy with a pitch, one single. That's the Collegians' lone hit. 1-1 pitch, and that one missed, so it's now 1-1.
Again, you're seeing patience by the collegiate hitters at the top of the order. Same needs to be applied by those at the bottom of the lineup as well today.
Just missed outside. Doug Hodges wanted to call it a strike. Flinched a bit, didn't, so it's 2-1. 2-1 pitch from Schrader. It's a curveball. Check swing roller over to the third base side. Hurn it across the diamond. This bounces in the dirt, and it's the second E5 of the night.
First baseman Zach Munn has had a hard time picking those balls out of the dirt. The first one I can forgive him for. That one I think he probably should have had. Kind of wound up his left arm to try to scoop it up to generate some momentum, but ultimately the ball was kind of put there for him. It's unfortunate for the young Slammers infielders.
The first baseman, Munn, scooped it, then dropped it, but it did bounce, so it is a throwing error. First pitch in the dirt against Brady Mitchell. Led the nation in doubles at Barton Community College. JUCO doubles lead, and a double would do him well right here. Quinn Brazel playing very shallow in center field. Middle infielders playing for the double play. 1-0 pitch. This one bounced over the left side, and it gets through Pete. That'll be another single for Brady Mitchell, who was very hot yesterday. His first at bat, he flew out to the center fielder. Gives the Collegians a bit of a rally here with 2 guys on and no outs in the third.
They've made a lot of really good contact, the Collegians. In fact, in the first inning, after that error that Kosh reached on, the 3 straight outs were a fly ball to left field, fly ball to center, and a fly ball to right. Now we're seeing these line drives fall in for hits for the Collegians, and they threaten here in the bottom of the third.
Brings up the big swinging left-handed catcher, Brett Bonar.
I think he's going to let Falcon fly here.
That's the name of his bat. Schrader's pitch. That one on the inside. This just has the feeling of a big swing coming up. Mitchell on first, huge lead as Munn is playing behind him. Nitze on second. 1-0 with 1 out. 2 on. Schrader comes set. The right-handed pitcher checks second, then delivers. It's bounced over to the second baseman, Polson. On to shortstop for 1. Pete records 1 out. Couldn't get the throw off to Munn. So score that a fielder's choice, 4-6. That moves up Nitze to third and will strand Bonar at first. Dawson Pomeroy to the plate with 2 outs and a big spot for the Collegians.
Nice job by second baseman Luke Polson, who fired over to second base for what was a relatively close play, but he wanted to get that lead runner and have the chance at a double play.
Bonar runs well. We'll see if they do anything with him on first. On third is Nitze at the bat, Dawson Pomeroy. First pitch from Nate Schrader that kisses the outside corner, and it's strike 1.
We've yet to see Pomeroy strike out in his 9 plate appearances. Has done a nice job putting the ball in play.
Pickoff attempt to first. Bonar's in safe. Pomeroy singled and came around to score in the second. Represents the Collegians' lone run. 2 runners on, 2 outs, 0-1 pitch. Fastball away, didn't catch the corner that time, and the count evens at 1 apiece. Bryce Bullock on deck. He singled in his last at bat as well. Bonar's lead lengthens a bit down at first. Schrader comes set, delivers. Bonar not going. Curveball on the outer half. Didn't catch the strike zone, and it's 2-1. Nitze on third will score on anything here with 2 outs. Bonar trying to get as big of a secondary lead as possible. Simmons not catching him behind the plate. 2-1 with 2 outs. This one slapped into center field. Brazil giving it chase. The left fielder dives. Safranek overdove it. Bonar coming in from third. 1 run scores. Bonar to the plate. The throw in time. Got him. Kellen Pete's relay throw got Brett Bonar at the plate. Collegians go down with just 1 run on the Dawson Pomeroy hit. They lead 2-1 after 3.
It is time to begin our social media contest. So what we need you to
Back for the top of the fourth in this 9-inning non-league game between the Collegians and Slammers. Jordan Kyle on the hill. He's got 7 strikeouts. He's facing 7, 8, and 9. We'll start with Kellen Pete. Struck out looking last time, just made a great throw from the shortstop position to get Brett Bonar at the plate, hold the Collegians to 1 run on the Dawson Pomeroy double. Kyle's first pitch, that's a strike as Pete swings through it. It was a double by Pomeroy. Bonar couldn't score. He is a catcher. Hard to go from first to home. 0-1 pitch. Two-seam fastball didn't bite back on the plate.
He did a nice job to try to slide around the back half of the plate, but unfortunately the tag from Simmons was nice to get Bonar on the back of his helmet.
1-1 pitch is a whiff, and it's now 1-2. Collegians with 3 hits thus far, as are the Slammers, who have 3 hits too. Kyle retired them in order last inning. 1-2 pitch here. This bounced over to the third base side. Foul. Kyle has retired 4 straight to go along with his 7 strikeouts. Kyle's 1-2 pitch against the shortstop. In the dirt, Pete will see 2-2. Working quick from the third base side into the line. 2-2 pitch. On the outside, strike 3. That's 8 for Jordan Kyle. Two-seam fastball on the outer half, nearly unhittable, and not only 8 strikeouts, but 7 of them looking, completely catching the Slammers hitters off guard.
He's been fantastic with painting the black on the outside corner and keeping these Slammers hitters fooled.
First pitch curveball in the dirt against the third baseman, Harned.
I think the home plate umpire, Doug Hodges, has been fair. His strike zone has been consistent throughout. And you notice that because the Slammers, when they go back to the dugout, they're simply shaking their head.
Lifted into center field. Nincy coming in will play this on 2 hops. It's a single for the third baseman, Harned, in the 4th with 1 out.
And that's nice to see a young player like that who goes and makes an error that will cost his team a run, go back up to the plate and try to redeem himself with a hit like we saw from Harned.
Single from Brazel last time. He steps in here. Was part of that out last inning. It was an 8-6-2. He started the relay. In center, Brett Bonar blocks this ball in the dirt and keeps the runner Harned on first. Very small secondary lead with the great arm of Brett Bonar behind the plate. Kyle with 8 strikeouts thus far through 3 1/3. So 8 of his 10 outs have come via the K. 2-0 from Jordan Kyle. That's a strike. Two-seam fastball right down the pipe. Been topping 88 tonight, sitting in the mid-80s. 2-1 from Jordan Kyle. That's a strike again on a two-seam fastball, just blowing the fastball by the Slammers.
Nice job climbing the ladder by Kyle, getting Quinn Brazel to chase, and now he might be able to have a little fun ahead 2-2.
2-2 pitch. That's bounced over to the second baseman, Erickson. Right back to first. I'm sorry, that wasn't bounced. It was a line drive. That was an out on the line drive. So score that L4. The throw back to first, not in time, as Harned slides in safely.
Bounced off the bat rather hard to Erickson, who did a nice job of kind of feigning that he wasn't noticing the runner on first and had a nice pop time over to first base. Almost caught the runner off guard.
2 outs. First pitch against the leadoff man, Polson, who has singled and struck out, is a ball. Runner on first is Harned. 4 hits thus far for the Slammers. That pitch misses, a ball. It's 2-0. 3 for the Collegians. 2-1 the Collegians lead here in the top of the 4th. 2-0 pitch from Jordan Kyle. That's outside. He's lost the strike zone, 3-0. Jordan Kyle has walked 2. Both of those came in the second inning. Hit 1 man with a pitch in the first as well. Comes set out of the stretch. 3-0 pitch. It's a strike right down the middle. Bonar didn't catch it correctly, but doesn't matter for anything. Kyle checks the runner on first. 3-1 pitch with 2 outs. This one skied into right field. Moving in is Marcus Altman. This one drops in front of him. Erickson fields this from second, throws it all the way to third. The throw not in time. He almost caught Harned moving first to third on a wayward and skyward throw that somehow almost got the runner advancing from first to third.
Erickson didn't have the hop to make it Jeter-esque, but it certainly was one of those gutsy plays where his hustle almost paid off to gun down the runner Harned at third base.
So Garen Safranek steps in a big spot, had the missed opportunity on the dive last inning. Was hit by a pitch in the first, walked in the second. Runners on first and third here in the 4th. First pitch a strike as Safranek swings through it. 2 outs. Jordan Kyle has 8 strikeouts already. See if he can make it 9. Runner on third's Harned. First is Polson. The 0-1 pitch. That's a strike. He swings through it once more. Kyle ahead, 0-2. So Jordan Kyle looking for his 9th K. 0-2 pitch to Safranek. Strike 3, Jordan Kyle. That is 9 strikeouts for Jordan. Collegians ahead 2-1 as we head to the bottom of the 4th.
We are going to do our Mountains Edge Fitness Challenge. I'm here with Jake. And what they're going to do is they're going to start here, do 10 push-ups. They're going to run to the middle, do 10 sit-ups, and then at the end they're going to do 10 burpees. First person's done, high five me with ready, set, go!
Fitness Challenge is brought to you by Mountains Edge Fitness, the home gym for your Boulder Collegians. Check them out at their location on 30th behind the Boulder Collegians. Go to their website,
Back in the booth in Boulder, Colorado, Bryce Bullock striding to the plate for the Boulder Collegians. Any more B's we can fit in there, Patrick? He's Patrick Lyons. I'm Jake Shapiro. Boulder leading 2-1 in the bottom of the 4th. There's a B.
We had Buffs broadcaster.
Buffs broadcaster Mark Johnson joined us earlier.
Gosh, you're so bombastic.
ran out of B words. That
can you tell I
say.
read a lot and have a nice vocabulary?
I only read baseball. There's B.
But anyway, let's get back to the game.
The beautiful game. 1-0 pitch drops in there for a strike. Count evens at 1 apiece. Nate Schrader out there for his 4th inning of work. Schrader throwing over the top from the windup. This pitch crushed, but foul from Bryce Bullock. It will get out of play as well. Bryce is a great example of the launch angle thing going on in baseball right now. I don't think Bryce has hit a ball on the ground all year. It seems like every ball he hits is skyward about 1,000 feet up in the air.
He only knows how to have extra base hits. He's tied for the team lead with 7 extra base hits. He's been fantastic.
Bullock wearing the red and blue stirrups, black and orange cleats, maybe black and red for UNLV where he goes and plays college baseball. 1-2. It's in the dirt. Count evens at 2 apiece.
His teammate, Kyle Isbell, has had a nice start to his professional career with the Orem Owls of the Angels organization, and was actually in Colorado playing the Grand Junction Rockies earlier this week.
2-2 pitch swung through and missed by Bryce Bullock. That's out number 1 in the 4th. And speaking of the Orem Owls in Colorado, Orem Owls will be moving to Pueblo here in a few years.
2020 is the date that they're hoping for, a nice $25 million complex down in Pueblo for the Pioneer League, and with the Helena Brewers also moving down to Colorado Springs, it does definitely shift the makeup geographically of that Pioneer League. Kind of makes you think if Matt Jensen could possibly get his wish and there be a minor league professional baseball team here on the Front Range.
Semi-pro's pretty good. It'd be a bunch of kids about the same age as this, though, which is kind of funny. 2-0 from Schrader. And Taylor lifts this into left. 1 hops in front of Safranek. It's a 1-out single for the first baseman, Mark Taylor.
Number 22, Marcus Altman.
One of my friends has a friend who is part of an ownership group that was looking into possibly bringing a team in the Front Range not too long ago, and I know they had settled on a piece of property up in Loveland where eventually the Budweiser Center was developed. I'm looking forward to learning more about his research and the likelihood if another team can come to the Front Range. I know we talked to Dan Evans last week about that, and the Rockies kind of having ownership over this general area.
Yeah, there is a 90-mile radius from where your home plate is. That is your territory according to baseball. So Boulder about 20 miles northwest of home plate at Coors Field won't have that opportunity to get around without the Rockies' permission. 0-1 pitch bounces in the dirt. Altman will see 1-1.
I'd have to do the research. I don't know off the top of my head how far Fort Collins is.
Fort Collins, I believe, is 60.
Not even close. Wow.
60. Oh, no, it's 66 from Boulder, so it may be 90.
Yeah.
You might be right.
Oh, okay.
1-1. That one bounces in the dirt as well. I'd be curious to see how far the Budweiser Event Center is from Coors Field. Our crack research team, our I-Team investigative team is on it right now. Consists of our most highly paid staff member. Get on it, Race Gardner. Got like 8 pitchers up here. They figured out that this is the coolest spot in the ballpark. 2-1 pitch. It's a strike, 2-2. And I don't mean coolest as in like, oh, this is awesome. I mean coolest as in it's under shade. I don't think anyone wants to listen to me talk, except for you, the lovely fans, and thank you for tuning in.
Loveland, Colorado, and the Budweiser Event Center is just under 50 miles from Coors Field.
So it does not clear that radius mark. Of course, famously argued upon with the Portland Mavericks. 2-2 pitch. Altman swings through and misses that. It's strike 3, the second strikeout of the inning for Nate Schrader.
And sadly, Fort Collins is 62.2 miles north of Coors Field. So
I don't
we
think
can
you
keep dreaming.
Especially since it's CU night, I'll just go on this. I don't think you can say anything about Fort Collins without starting with sadly. Glad you started the sentence with sadly about Fort Collins, because that's what I think when I think about Fort Collins.
Freudian slip, perhaps.
Hey, it's the only time I can say it on air because I'm not working covering CU, and I'm wearing a CU shirt. Sco Buffs, Patrick Lyons. Sco Buffs. is CU night here. Mark Johnson threw out the first pitch, voice of the Buffs. Got some fans in the house wearing CU stuff as well. This pitch misses to Brett Erickson. Cheerleaders in the crowd as well. Saw our favorite cheerleader, Allison Lowry.
You guys are very close, you said? Good friends, right?
Good friends. We're good friends.
Good friends.
1-0 pitch in the dirt. That'll move up Taylor on a wild pitch.
RBI opportunity for Erickson, who's looking to break an 0 for 10 slump right now. This would be a great opportunity for him to do that here in the 9th spot in the order. Schrader gets the sign at the waist. Strike on the outside corner. 2-1 count to Erickson. Taylor on second base. He reached with a single to left field.
2-1 pitch from Nate Schrader. Runner on second is Mark Taylor. Pitch is high, booted by the catcher Simmons, gets back to the backstop, will move up Taylor to third with Erickson at the plate.
One of the few pass balls we've seen here in play against the Collegians. Typically it's been of the wild pitch variety, whether it's a ball that the catcher should have blocked or otherwise. But that one's certainly a mistake that Jake Simmons is not happy about. Short backstop here at Scott Carpenter Park. But with Taylor getting a good secondary lead and a ball that gets the backstop in just the right way, we could see the third run cross the plate for the Collegians.
Schrader's 3-1. This spit on and poured center field. Gets down in front of Brazel. That's an RBI single for Brett Erickson.
Exactly what the doctor ordered. Erickson with an RBI. One of many he had while at Barton Community College, and this one here for the Collegians is key to give them the 3-1 lead and to help him get a little bit mojo going his way.
Not only Allison Lowry, but Allison Lissaway here as well. Both of them CU cheerleaders. Happy to have them on CU Buffs night. This pitch misses. First pitch to Addy Kosh. He reached on an error in the first and flied out to the left fielder in the third. He's got a runner on first with 2 outs. It's Brett Erickson as the Collegians have just added on. It's 3-1. 1-0 pitch. Runner takes off. Erickson in there safely. The throw by Jake Simmons was a good one again. The tag by Kellen Pete. I'm sorry, that was the second baseman on the tag. Luke Polson not in time as the Collegians with some shifty sliding to get around these tags.
Outside of that pass ball by Simmons, he's done a nice job with his pop time getting it down to second base. He'll be a freshman at Western Nebraska next year, and they've added themselves a nice backstop. Kosh calls time, steps out.
1-1 here, sun set to set. Sunset to set. That grammatically works in about an hour. Schrader on the mound. His 1-1 pitch misses. He's in his 4th inning of work here. Has worked 3 2/3. No action thus far for the Slammers in the bullpen. Has done a pretty good job. No doubt about that. Against this good hitting Collegian team. 2-1 against Addy Kosh. The pitch fouled right back. Of course, the eyes of the players right now, all college baseball players, are on the College Baseball World Series, which is going on in Omaha. A lot of these guys have friends out on those teams. Some of them feel like they could play better than some of the guys. It's actually an interesting dynamic watching the players watch the College World Series. 2-2 with 2 outs against Addy Kosh. Schrader's pitch. It's lifted over towards the shortstop dive. It's knocked down by Pete. Erickson will hold at third and score that a single by Addy Kosh. That would have been a remarkable play by Kellen Pete had he made it.
I think Pete surprised himself by getting to the ball faster than he thought he was going to. It's one of the reasons why it came off his mitt in that way, and you're right, it would have been a really big play for Pete to have made. to get Kosh out.
And it saved the Slammers a run there as Erickson held at third. If that ball gets into the outfield, he is definitely scoring from second with 2 outs. First pitch here, a strike on the outside against Nico Nincy, who is 0 for 2, reached on an error and came around to score in third.
Nincy's one of 6 Collegians players with 10 or more RBI, and he's done most of that damage at the top of the order for the Collegians.
0-1 pitch is in the dirt. That'll move up the trail runner, Addy Kosh, on the wild pitch. Erickson holds at third.
And that'll get someone warming up in the bullpen for the Slammers.
Doing some stretching, not throwing yet. Laying face down. Interesting way to get warmed up.
Chaturanga Dandasa? All right, Race Gardner knows his yoga. Fantastic. Morning salutations.
1-1 from Schrader on the outside, called a strike. Nitzy did not like the call. Neither did the Collegians dugout. Runner on second is Addy Kosh. On third is Erickson. Both reached on singles. Collegians have plated a run. They've done so in each of the last 3 innings. It's 3-1, 1-2 pitch. This one lined over to the second baseman on a couple hops. A bad one off the lip. Polson over to first to Munn, and that is the 3rd out of the inning. But not before the Collegians could plate one. They tack on. It's 3-1 after 4.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's game experience is brought to you by numerous sponsors that are helping to bring college-based basketball. For information about our sponsors on how you can sponsor the Collegians, head over to bouldercollegians.com and click the tab labeled Sponsors. Number 8, Munn.
Nine strikeouts for Jordan Kyle as he steps to the hill to start the 5th inning. Collegians leading 3-1. First pitch misses outside against the first baseman, Munn.
Well, that typically falls in line with what Kyle's been doing with the first pitch balls, but he's been getting back in gear with the second pitch. That one comes off the mask of home plate umpire Doug Hodges.
That's not fun for anybody.
No, before each and every game when I get the umpires' names, I always make sure to tell them that you and I are both umpires and we will not be getting on them. And that's true, we haven't. There's also been really good umpiring that we've had so far in all the Collegians games.
It's like the players watching college baseball, Patrick, like I just said. I think I can do better. I mean, that's probably not true, but I believe it. 2-0 pitch is crushed into left. Moving back is Mitchell. He'll settle under this. Still in the sky, finally makes the grab. So absolutely crushed by Munn, but too high, as they say in Major League.
What do you mean it's too high?
It's too high.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Nailed it.
I can't say the line that follows because it's not.
That's right.
It's not PG. Although we've been told by Jensen we could go R-rated on the broadcast.
I mean exactly. That could bring in some more money and subscribers if we go on YouTube Red, but that might be for next season.
1-0 pitch is on the outside. It's a strike against Helton. I want to mic up all the guys too. That'd be fun. Balls would be dangerous. 1-1 pitch. That's in the dirt. Count runs to 2-1.
certainly in seasons future, we may be able to mic up the guys when they take batting practice and hear what they talk about, whether they know they're on mic or not. But that could certainly be a fun little video we put together.
2-1, that's outside. It'll be 3-1. It's illegal to mic people without telling them.
Well, no. Let's say I would be mic'd, and as I'm talking with you in the outfield, you would have no idea as I inquire about your social security number.
Great. 3-1 pitches miss, and it's a walk. That's the third walk surrendered by Jordan Kyle. Guess that'll tend to happen when you have 9 strikeouts, and that'll bring up the DH Bailey, who has struck out twice, looking. So Helton on first, 1 out, 3-1 the score in favor of the Collegians. Jordan Kyle from the stretch comes set on that left side, delivers two-seam fastball on the outer half, strike 1.
Helton on first. Nice, I heard what you said there. But Kyle's walk here in the 5th inning, his first one since he walked 2 in the 2nd inning. So he's done a nice job trying to get his command back after that first pitch.
0-1 from Kyle, that's inside. Bonar blocks it in the dirt. I didn't even mean to do Helton on first.
I know. You're so sweet, you just don't even know what you're saying.
Kyle at even, 1-1 to Bailey. Two-seam fastball for a strikeout in the outer half, and now he's seeking a double-digit amount of strikeouts.
I think we've only seen 3 other Collegian starters go 5 innings or more. Check that. The 5th one would be Nathaniel Bresner Mendoza. He could be the next one, Jordan Kyle.
Jordan Kyle with a pickoff move before this 1-2 pitch. On first is Helton. The DH is Bailey. He's at the plate, has struck out twice looking. Jordan Kyle comes set, 1-2 pitch. Strike 3! That's 10 for Jordan Kyle. Jordan Kyle with more strikeouts than letters in his name.
Catcher number 2, Simmons.
Well, that was the 3rd strikeout of the game by Luke Bailey, who unfortunately decided to pick the bat off his shoulders and swing at that one as he had struck out looking his first 2 at-bats in the 1st and 3rd inning. That brings Jake Simmons to the plate, who is also struck out looking in his first 2 at-bats. That foul ball starts him off with a strike, and Kyle is ahead. Let's see if he can get number 11.
Runner on first is Helton with 1 out, or 2 outs rather. 3-1 the score in favor of the Collegians. That pitch misses in the dirt. Bonar's got it between his legs, picks it up. No harm done. 1-1 will be the count. Sounds like the lights are coming on here in Boulder. Sun not going to set for an hour, but the clouds are taking over a bit and definitely some shade here at the 40th parallel. 1-1 from Jordan Kyle from the left side. That's bounced over to the third base side. Pomeroy charging, gets it with the glove, and it's called a foul ball.
Hit off the inside of Jake Simmons' left foot there. Home plate umpire Doug Hodges all over that foul ball. But it's going to be a 1-2 count, and again, Kyle is ahead of these Slammers hitters with a 1-2 count. Looking for number 11. It's tops on the season so far.
Kyle at 1-2 and 2 outs. Runner on first, checked, throws. Strike 3 called! 11 for Jordan.
The Boulder Collegians are one of the only teams in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League that relies on host families to house and feed their players. Our host families open their doors to players from Memorial Day to late summer. If you're interested in hosting a Collegian next summer, please get in touch with Matt Jensen or one of our staff and volunteers at the concession stand or ticket booth.
Collegians ahead 3-1. Magnificent performance from Jordan Kyle on the hill with 11 strikeouts for the Collegians. He's got the season high for the Collegians with that mark. First pitch misses a ball against Brady Mitchell.
He's been absolutely electric, and now here on the offensive side, Collegian hitters are trying to translate their patience into a few more runs for their starter.
Mitchell down the third base line, making a play as Harnett across the diamond, not in time. It's an infield single for Brady Mitchell.
Again, Zach Munn having a difficulty receiving the balls from Josh Harnett over there at third base, but give it up to Mitchell, who did a nice job getting the bat head out there in order to pull it right down the line.
And that would have been a 5-star play for John Harnett had he completed it. So Brett Bonar strides in. He's 0 for 2. Fielder's choice was gunned out at the plate. Would have been the Collegians' third run. They later scored in the fourth to make it 3-1. First pitch in the dirt. Simmons is going to try to get the guy at second. Mitchell moves up, and the throw's errant into second, or into center field, and score that a wild pitch, moving up Brady Mitchell. Simmons very thick behind the plate, not having great movement side to side, having trouble with some of these errant throws from the pitcher Nate Schrader.
Bonar owes us a big fly from his last at-bat where it felt like it was in the air. Maybe we'll get it now with the runner on second base.
1-0 pitch. Bonar tries to hit this to Saturn, and it bounced in the dirt. Would have been a good swing had he been playing cricket. Unfortunately, he's playing baseball.
Warming up in the bullpen for the Slammers is number 10, Kellen Pete, their shortstop.
So who's playing shortstop? Can we get a number on that?
Oh, that's right. They do have 2 number 10s.
Swung through and missed by Brett Bonar.
That would be Corey Ritchie. Thank you for pointing that out.
So Jordan Kyle's day is done. He's actually joined us up here. We'll see if maybe we can get him on here in a minute or two. Brady Mitchell out at second, 1-2 the score, or 1-2 the count, 3-1 the score in favor of the Collegians. Pitch to Bonar, this fouled back beyond the screen. Schrader, the starter, still out there in his 5th inning of work. The pitch is in the dirt.
I heard that catch a piece of Jake Simmons' right hand. Definitely caught a piece of skin as that bounced in the dirt.
It's a tough game for these catchers. Brett Bonar's jersey, it's white by color, but it's turned orange. Dirt color here at Scott Carpenter Park. Schrader 2-2 against Brett Bonar. It's outside, count runs full.
Bonar doing a nice job to stay patient, even though he was behind in the count, 1 ball and 2 strike. Now it's full and Schrader needs to deliver it. This could be his final pitch of the evening.
Full count pitch from Schrader. This breaks Bonar's bat, and that's no fun. It goes foul.
He's not too happy that he broke his bat there, as unlike the pros who get wood bats sent to them, these guys are paying for it out of their own pocket.
That's about $80 right there, Patrick.
And you can see the look on Bonar's face. That's all he's really thinking about, in fact.
And what is this bat called? If that one was called Falcon, what do we call this one? Do we know?
Wow, we do not.
What's another superhero? Quickly. Casey, it's a home run here.
I'm going to call it the Peregrine.
The Peregrine?
It's a type of falcon, but it's going to be the Peregrine.
The Peregrine or Peregrine?
Grin.
Okay.
Now, let's call it the Kestrel.
The Castrol?
Kestrel.
3-2 pitch. This one way high. Bonar will take a walk. On the wild pitch, Mitchell will move up to third. So we've got Jordan Kyle up here right now, and Jordan pitched magnificently today. Jordan, you threw 11 strikeouts. What was working well for you?
Coach told me that they couldn't really hit a curveball very well, so I just stuck to that. and I was staying out in front of my curveball, so I was breaking sharply, and I felt really confident with the way I was throwing it, so I just stuck to it.
You said you didn't even throw a changeup in your performance.
I did not. I didn't really have to work in a third pitch. I was controlling both my fastball and my curveball really well, so I didn't think that there was a need to throw a third pitch.
Jordan, I don't know if you've ever struck out even 10. You struck out 11 today. Is this the most strikeouts you've had in a performance?
It is. The most I've ever had was, I think 6, and that was my senior year in high school. So I kind of blew that record out of the water.
So you're having a good time knowing this was on camera, knowing you can relive it a little bit.
I'm loving it.
Good. I'm glad you're happy. Where you have a pitching change here at Scott Carpenter Park, we'll come right back with the new pitcher. Back with Patrick Lyons, Jake Shapiro here in the broadcasting booth. No outs in the 5th. Collegians have runners on first and third. Boner on first, Mitchell on third. Collegians ahead 3-1. The new pitcher is Corey Ritchie, right-hander wearing number 10. First pitch from him is a strike. Has a very deliberate mechanic coming to the plate, trying to maybe draw the batter's eye with how he moves his glove hand.
And Pomeroy has been locked in at the plate. He's had 6 hits in his 7 at-bats so far with the Collegian. So if Peregrine's going to fly, it's going to be off the bat of Pomeroy here.
This one bounced foul. It'll even the count at 1 apiece. Pomeroy singled in the 2nd, came around and scored. He was stranded on in the 3rd inning with an RBI double, which is the go-ahead hit at the moment as it plated the 2nd Collegian run. They're ahead 3-1.
And Pomeroy had the go-ahead hit last night as well, or the go-ahead run, and as well as the RBI. So,
and that after he blew the save too.
Yeah.
So big to get off of that feeling for him. 1-1 pitch, nobody going. He checks his swing. They call it a strike, and that was strike 3. I'm sorry, we were behind a few pitches.
Yeah, he tried checking his swing, and ultimately I think home plate umpire Doug Hodges thought that hit the high and outside corner of the strike zone. The fact that Pomeroy offered up at it pretty much confirmed Hodges' first thoughts.
Bullock at the plate. First pitch is skied right back to the screen. It's foul. Bullock is 1 for 2 with a strikeout and a single. 1 out here. Bonar on first.
Look for him to try to take second base in this opportunity.
Mitchell's on third. Watch the hit and run as well. And Bullock fouls this back too. It's 0-2.
Though it's a 2-run lead, Jordan Kyle will be out of the game. He is finished with his 5 innings. So although the Collegians bullpen has been strong, 2-run lead might not be enough right now. And with it being a 9-run game, here's an opportunity for them to put a few more on the board and give them a little bit of a buffer.
That was interesting. The Collegians dugout was throwing in game balls to the catcher, and the catcher was out of his reach, and it hit Bryce Bullock. So Bryce Bullock getting plunked by a teammate. I think that was Gabe Gioso, backup first baseman tonight in the Collegians dugout.
We could be seeing Gioso, in fact, as the next guy out of the pen. He is slated to throw at least an inning tonight.
0-2 with 1 out. It's low. Bonar holds it first. Bullock waits and watches that pitch go for a ball. Bonar at first, Mitchell at third, 1-2 the count, 3-1 the score in favor of the Collegians.
Bonar does have 2 stolen bases already on the season.
1-2 pitch, Bonar going. This in the dirt, no chance for Simmons, and he will take that without a throw. It puts 2 in scoring position with a 2-2 count for Bryce Bullock.
Nice read by Bonar for his 3rd stolen base of the season, and now with runners at 2nd and 3rd, Bullock has a great opportunity here for 2 more ribs.
2-2 count, that's inside, count will run full. Whole infield now playing in as they had the double play in order with Bonar at first. That's why that stolen base is so meaningful. Now they'll try and get Mitchell if it is on the ground. They do not know, however, that Bryce Bullock rarely hits ground balls. Full count pitch with 1 out. Dealing Schrader. This bounces through the left side. The rare ground ball from Bryce Bullock. Plates 1. Bonar holds at 3rd, and it's an RBI single for Bryce Bullock here in the 5th to make it 4-1.
Number 9, Mark Taylor.
Well, it was a ground ball from Bullock, but a well-placed one. At that, it would have scored a run regardless of the infield being up, but the opportunities on the base pass by Bonar and Mitchell making that an opportunity to go in for an RBI single.
Would have scored a run no matter what, as you said, but Bonar does not move to 3rd, and Bullock's probably not in safely at first had the infield been playing back. So just a unfortunate break there for the Slammers as the Collegians go ahead 4-1. First pitch to Mark Taylor is outside, or inside rather, and it is 1-0. Mark Taylor's 1 for 2 in the game, singled in the 4th, came around to score on a wild pitch and a pass ball as he advanced from 1st to 3rd. Bullock getting a good lead off of 1st. Schrader on the mound. I'm sorry, that's not Nate Schrader anymore. That's the pitcher Corey Ritchie, and the second pitch is a strike. (1-1) with 1 out. This pitch misses to Mark Taylor.
Taylor singled in his last at-bat to left field and has another opportunity for his 2nd RBI, as his fielder's choice in the 2nd was the first one to put the Collegians on the board.
2-1 pitch. Bullock stays at 1st. This inside on Taylor maybe almost grabbed him. He said it actually hit him. Umpire did not see that. That'll happen when you duck out of the way like that. Did not appear from this vantage point that Taylor got hit either.
Agreed. Might have caught a piece of the front of his shirt.
Bullock on 1st, Bonar on 3rd. Bullock takes off. The pitch on 3-1 is fouled back. So they'll probably send Bullock again here on 3-2. With 1 out, Collegians ahead 4-1 in the bottom of the 5th. Jordan Kyle, the story of the game, with 11 strikeouts for the Collegians. Bullock stays, full count pitch in the dirt. Taylor will take 1st.
Left fielder, number 22, Marcus Altman.
I spoke with Altman before the game. His hand has been, while not fully healed, definitely the strength has come back from it. He hit a few real nice balls last night, and during batting practice today, he felt like he has most, if not all, of his power back. So this is an opportunity for him to get his first extra base hit. Besides Pomeroy, who's only had a handful of ABs, he's the only player on the Collegians without an extra base hit.
It's been a story of hand injuries for the Collegians here of late. I know Meadows has had one that's come in and out, and Dave Neal up here tonight with us is going to miss a couple of games here upcoming with a small hand injury, nothing major, just a minor thing, a little strain in his hand, wearing a cast. He'll be okay. First pitch misses, 1-0 here to Altman. Bounce right back up the middle. The second baseman, Polson, will step on the bag for 1. Over to first for 2. It's a double play to retire the side here in the 5th. So the Collegians get 1 again for the 4th straight inning, but could not add on more. They leave on 2 on the base paths, and that will end this inning. We'll pick it up in the top of the 6th. Back for the top of the 6th. Jordan Kyle's day is done, and Gabe Gioso takes over. The left-handed first baseman, who also pitches a bit, will get a run here from St. Mary's College, but what a performance from Jordan Kyle.
Kyle, arguably the best start of the season for a collegian through 5 innings. Gave up 5 hits, just 1 earned run. Walked 3, but struck out 11 of these Slammers hitters today.
That'll bring Gabe Gioso up to the plate. He's got a fastball and a changeup. Those are his 2 main pitches. Gioso comes in at 6'3". Over the top delivery, fastball 4, strike 1 against the 7-hitter, the shortstop, Kellen Pete, who has struck out twice looking. Massive shadows between the pitcher's plate and the home plate right now, and it helps Gioso get strike 2 against Pete, already down 0-2.
Delayed strike call by home plate umpire. Pete not too happy with it, but it did look like it crossed the letters.
0-2 from Gioso. That's fouled back to the screen. Caught a bit of Bonar on the way back. He's okay. Collegians ahead 4-1 at the top of the 6th. Gioso's 0-2 pitch. Strike 3 swinging. He got Pete down. It's the sombrero for Kellen Pete.
Third baseman, number 11.
That's Gioso's 5th strikeout in 2 1/3 innings, so he's been very strikeout heavy. Only has had the 2 appearances, but in those 2 appearances has gotten himself with one of the highest strikeout per 9 ratios on the team.
Sun dips behind a cloud as John Harned strides in, watches a first pitch ball.
The one concern for Gioso is in his 2 innings of work previously is that he walked 2 hitters and gave up 3 hits. So though he did not allow an earned run, the base runners have been aplenty.
Second pitch fouled off. Slammers scored 1 in the first. Jordan Kyle really settled it down after there. Did allow up 5 hits, but worked around it with those 11 strikeouts. Collegians failed to score in the first, but have scored 1 run and exactly 1 run in every inning since. That's made it 4-1. Gioso's pitch, that's a strike, and it now runs to 1-2.
Well, 2 back-to-back hard-throwing lefties on the hill for the Collegians.
Gabe Gioso has John Harned at 1-2. That pitch misses, and it's 2-2. Collegians with 8 hits in the ball game. Slammers with 5. They've got 2 errors as well. Gioso's pitch this grounded over to the third baseman, Dawson Pomeroy. Crow hops twice across the diamond with a smoker of a throw, and that's out number 2.
Center fielder, number 5, Brazel.
Brings in Brazel, center fielder, Quinn Brazel. Got a single, was stranded on second in the second, and lined to the second baseman, Brett Erickson, in his last at bat in the 4th. Here in the 6th, watches a first pitch ball, Sun's back out. Gioso fighting it a bit on the mound, long shadows for the left, third baseman, and shortstop. It's outside.
The center fielder, Brazel, out of Chaparral High School, will be staying in state as he will be a freshman at the School of Mines this fall.
2-0 pitch. That's high.
3-0 count. Gioso needs to find the strike zone here to not lose this batter.
3-0 pitch. That's outside, and one thing we know about walks is they will haunt, particularly 2-out walks.
Second baseman, number 15.
You mentioned the Collegians with their 8 hits and a lot of traffic on the bases. They've left 7 stranded so far, but this is still a 3-run ball game. And with 4 innings left to go, the Collegians need to keep it close with Gioso on the hill.
Gioso checking the runner at first, will deliver the first pitch. It's outside against Polson, the second baseman. Luke is 1 or 2 for 3 with 2 singles and a strikeout in the game. Singled in the 4th and the 1st, came around and scored that lone run for the Slammers. 1-0 pitch. This skied into center. Nitze coming in. Moving back is Bullock. He'll make the catch over his shoulder, and that is out, number 3. So that's Addy Kosh. I'm so used to Bryce playing shortstop here as of late, but that was Addison Kosh.
And I didn't pick up on that either.
Yeah, 23 versus 24 too, but Addy Kosh back out there, good to see. Anyway, Collegians ahead 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th. Back for the bottom half of the 6th inning, Brett Erickson to lead off against the reliever for the Slammers, Corey Ritchie. He's Patrick Lyons. I'm Jake Shapiro, bringing you home here for the Boulder Collegians on this beautiful Saturday night.
Erickson did a nice job breaking from a slump with a single to right center field in the 4th inning.
And this first pitch is grounded over the shortstop on 2 hops. Pete across the diamond. That is an out, out number 1 here in the bottom of the 6th.
Hard hit ball by Erickson. I think he definitely has the making of an official slump break. We'll have to see when he gets another turn at the plate. But that brings Addy Kosh to the plate. He's 1 for 3 on the day with a single. He reached on an error and had a fly ball out to the left fielder, Garen Safranek.
Kosh on the year coming into today, batting .333. First pitch there misses high. OPS at 1250. Isolated slugging of .513. So just great numbers from Addy Kosh. Really hitting the ball hard and far and a lot of the time. 1-0 pitch. That's inside. Almost catches Kosh in the face. Catches Kosh in the kisser, so to speak. Fortunately does not.
For anyone at home watching the game, if you happen to run into Addison Kosh during the day, ask him if he knows where his baseball mitt is located.
Yes, he forgot it at the field last night.
Again.
Yes, again. This pitch is a strike, 2-1. Better than Devin Elson, who forgot his baseball mitt coming to Arizona. I don't know how that happens. I guess I left both of my mitts here last night, but I didn't have a game between. That's a strike. It's 2-2.
You didn't bring it with you and hope to have a game of catch with Todd Helton?
No, I did not.
But you did get to speak with Todd as well as a few of the other great Rockies legends.
Talked to Todd Helton today. 2-2 pitch here from Corey Ritchie. That's strike 3 looking, a curveball on the lower half, and Kosh knew it too. He sets down, and that'll put Nitze at the bat with 2 outs. Yeah, Todd Helton, Vinny Castile, Larry Walker. Talked with Houston Street for quite a bit today. One of my favorite Rockies. It was the Rockies' celebration of their 25th anniversary team. It's the 25th year of the 26th year of the Rockies actually, but they're celebrating their 25th anniversary this year. So they're top 25 players of all time. A lot of guys back at Coors Field today. First pitch a strike against Nico Nitze.
And we'll be able to hear that interview with Houston Street on your podcast. Is that correct, Rocky
yeah,
Road?
I wasn't going to promote it, but yeah, Rocky Road Podcast is where you can find the podcast. And 0-1 pitch. This one bounced right back up the middle. It's a 2-out single for Nico Nitze as it skips over Corey Ritchie's head. can listen to the podcast, Rocky Road Podcast. You can find it on rockspile.com or its own SoundCloud page, iTunes. It's pretty much everywhere. It's on my Twitter, Shapalicious. So, good old pod. Recaps every Rockies game about an hour after the Rockies game, 20 minutes. Simple, and I try to interview the most interesting people that are around Rockies baseball, whether they play for them or cover them or former Rockies like Houston Street, who I find endlessly fascinating.
In my unbiased opinion, it is definitely one of the best Rockies podcasts that you can listen to on iTunes.
One of the best Rockies podcasts.
Sure. It's definitely in the top 10 of all
Thanks.
10 Rockies podcasts. No, it is
I think
very
there's only
good.
4 or 5.
No, it is actually very good. I found at least 7, I believe.
Really?
Yes.
Huh.
But I've dug around.
Was one of them my old one?
No.
That was inactive now. Ooh, that one hits the field, Mike. Hopefully that's okay. Wild pitch that will move Nico Nincy up a base.
One is by a group of Reddit users that just talk, and
yeah,
that's okay. I listened to it one time, but
I've seen that one.
Yeah,
Rockspile posted it. They do it with Kevin every once in a while. Well, that wasn't a competition.
That's true. That's just me talking.
Okay.
You didn't
I
want
didn't
the
say
plug.
That. You said that.
That was me putting it out there.
You put out the plug, and you told me I was better. I didn't do either of those things.
That's right.
Everyone says I have an ego. I did neither of those things. Brady Mitchell at the bat. Really good extra base hitter. Could use that to score Nico Nincy from second. This pitch in the dirt, and the count goes to 2-0 against Brady Mitchell. Brady has singled twice, came around to score last inning, helped via 2 wild pitches, and he flew out to the center fielder in the first. Nico on second. The score 4-1 in favor of the Collegians. They've scored a run in each of the last 4 innings. 1 run exactly on the dot. 2-0. That misses high. Mitchell's got himself in a very favorable count at 3-0.
On the previous pitch, nice job blocking the ball in the dirt there by new catcher Brady Seager, who is now in the game for Jake Simmons, who unfortunately was 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts looking. But he did a nice job defensively.
That pitch misses low. It's ball 4. Another 2-out base runner, a 2-out walk, this time to Brady Mitchell. And Brady Seager, for the Sluggers, not as big of a catcher as Jake Simmons.
No, but he will be playing next year as a freshman at famed Feather River College in California. Nice little baseball program there out in Feather River. And that's 3 straight plate appearances that Brady Mitchell has reached first base, has a sizable lead at first base as Zach Munn is not holding him on.
Nitzy with a normal leadoff, second for 2 outs. He's not being held on there either. Pitch misses, the first one to Brett Bonar from Corey Ritchie. Bonar could use a big swing here. Falcon has broken. Did you research and find a different kind of bird? Is this a hawk?
This one is a golden eagle.
It's a golden eagle. Okay,
yes.
I like it. 1-0 pitch. And that misses high. Back pick to second. Nincy is out. Third out of the inning. Nico Nincy picked off of second by the catcher Brady Seager. Score 4-1 as we head to the top of the 7th. Back for the top of the 7th, last 9 outs. Collegians 9 away from a victory. They're ahead 4-1. Gabe Gioso on the mound in his second inning of relief of Jordan Kyle. First pitch bounced over to the second baseman, Brett Erickson, up the middle on one hop and throws it across the diamond to Mark Taylor. That is 1 out.
And this second inning of work from Gioso is notable because in his 2 previous appearances, he only got 1 inning. So manager Matt Senna allowing Gioso an opportunity to work his arm out as one of 2 players who go both ways. They play both the field and hit as well as can pitch on the mound along with Dawson Pomeroy.
That pitch misses, and it's 1-0 to the first baseman, Munn.
And I should also mention that John Kea does play a little bit of outfield at University of Hawaii Hilo, so that list could be amended to be 3 players.
1-1 pitch is foul territory, sky high. Brett Bonar will make the underhanded grab, and the basket grab is good for the second out as it is a foul out to the catcher.
Hey, that was a Dottie Hinson-esque play, wouldn't you say?
Who?
Dottie Hinson. Rockford Peaches.
Nope.
A League of Their Own. Gina Davis.
Oh, okay.
There she made that little sliding play. She caught it there.
I'm a big fan of A League of Their Own, but I couldn't tell you any of the people's names. I just know that Tom Hanks is in the movie.
You like Kit better? Are you more of a Kit fan?
Like I said, I couldn't tell you any of the names off the top of my head.
Dude, every kid grows up either liking the Rockford Peaches or the Racine Bells. And
well, I was a Racine Bells fan because I'm from Highland Park, Illinois, and
there
that's about
go.
15 minutes from Racine, Wisconsin.
And you like rooting for a winner, you know, and Kit, man, she really led that team.
Plus, I'm a big fan of the phrase 10-bell save in hockey, so I'm a big fan of bells. 0-1 from Gioso, over the top delivery, strike 2. Gioso's got Helton behind, 0-2. 0-2 from Gabe Gioso, hunting his second K, and he's got it. Gioso with 2 strikeouts sets down the side in order here in the 7th as the Collegians take a 4-1 lead to the home half of the 7th. Back for the bottom half of the 7th inning. We'll see the Collegians bat 4, 5, and 6 as Brett Bonar steps back to the plate. Corey Ritchie in his 3rd inning. Oh, no. What? 2nd inning of relief? 3rd inning of relief? He's in his 3rd inning of relief. He came in the 5th with 2 men on, got the Slammers out of that.
He did. He's looked nice so far here in the early going, but again, it's mainly down to the fact that the Collegians have run themselves out on the bases. We saw Nico Nincy do it for the second night in a row, unfortunately.
Third straight game in a row for getting second night. We're having some fun with some candy up in the press box as well. Lots of kids. It's always a family affair here in Boulder, Colorado at Scott Carpenter Park. 0-1 from Richie to Brett Bonar. That is slapped down the first base line foul. Having some worm gummies here. Want one?
I'm good, thanks.
I know you're a healthy eater. I know we've talked about this, especially when we're traveling, how unhealthy I eat.
True.
Thanks for calling me out. 0-2 from Richie.
I didn't that time. That was all you. You admitted what you ate.
You confirmed it. That's true.
Hey, we all enjoyed some nice double-doubles from In-N-Out Burger.
Oh, like 4 times when we were there.
Those were the days.
Oh, they were awesome days, man.
I still carry around evidence of those double-doubles around my waist.
Really? Richie digging into his glove for the 1-2 pitch, fouled back by Bonar.
Somehow I ended up with the receipt from that purchase. So when I pulled out my wallet, my wife said, "You spent $222 on burgers at In-N-Out?" No, that was courtesy of the excellent general manager, Matt Jensen, making sure his boys were fed.
I think I could do that. I think I could spend $200 at In-N-Out. 1-2 pitch. Bonar swings through it. That's the first out here of the bottom of the 7th.
It's only a matter of days, weeks, not sure, until In-N-Out Burger does open up here in Colorado. The first one's
in
supposed
Colorado
to be in
Springs.
Colorado Springs, and that'll be the center that will allow many more to come around in the Denver and even Boulder area.
Striding in is Dawson Pomeroy. First pitch to him is on the outer half. It's a ball low. He's 2 for 3 rather, with a single and a double. RBI double came around to score in the second as well. Struck out looking last time up in the 5th.
That was his only strikeout so far in 11 plate appearances. And he's been 6 for 9 so far here in their early going. And I'd have to go back to inspect to see if the outs that he has made at the plate were as a right-handed hitter. As the Fort Collins Foxes had some lefties on the mound, that's when we first learned that both Dawson Pomeroy was a switch hitter and that you don't know how to open up a package of candy.
Yeah, the candy's everywhere now, man. Sorry. You're not only in the vicinity of candy, you're covered in it. You're fine. 2-1 pitch from Richie. That's high, misses. Dawson's got himself a 3-1 count. I've perfected the art of eating while doing baseball broadcasts, I think.
What's your definition of perfected?
3-1 pitch to Pomeroy. That misses. It's a ball, and that's ball 4, which gives Pomeroy first.
That's his 3rd walk in 12 plate appearances. So we've talked about the patience that's being practiced by hitting coach Eddie Toledo, and Dawson Pomeroy, although he's the newest player on the team, he has actually been showing that the best out of any collegiate hitter.
I think the whole pitching staff's going to have a sugar rush going into tomorrow's game, or maybe a sugar crash. That's who we're up here in the booth with, and they're the ones actually eating the candy. We're only taking a couple bites. First pitch in on Bryce Bullock, misses wide, and with Pomeroy at first, Collegians are trying to add on an insurance run here in the bottom of the 7th. They've got 9 hits in the ball game to the 5 of the Sluggers.
Pomeroy getting a good secondary lead over there on first base if he's being held.
And that pitch misses as well. On the wild pitch, Dawson Pomeroy will move up to second. Scoring position now for the power-hitting Bryce Bullock, who singled in a run last time in the 5th, also singled in the 2nd. He's 2 for 3.
And credit that move up to second base on Pomeroy's secondary lead. Otherwise, he would not have gotten that far, as the ball did not trickle too far away from the catcher, Brady Seeger.
Richie checks Pomeroy at second. 2-0 pitch. That's slapped into left field by Bullock. It's going to hang up in the sky. Moving in is the left fielder, Frantic, and that is out number 2.
Mark Taylor's had a relatively productive day. He got the Collegians on the board in the bottom of the 2nd with a fielder's choice that ended up scoring Dawson Pomeroy. He singled to left field in the 4th, and he walked in the 5th inning.
First pitch to Mark Taylor. He takes a strike down the heart.
Nods his head yes in agreement.
Well, it's good to have the confirmation of the player as an umpire. It doesn't mean anything, but it does make you feel a bit more confident. I don't know why. 0-1, 2 outs. 4-1 the score. Runner on second's Pomeroy. This pitch in the dirt. Pomeroy trying to move up to third. The slide. He is safe. He beats the throw from Brady Seeger to John Hammond.
Great piece of base running again by Pomeroy, who is off with the ball in the dirt, Nico Nincy-esque, and he gets there just in time, even though it was a great throw by Seeger at third to John Harned.
The wild pitch is really costing the Sluggers. 1-1.
And those wild pitches haven't been that wild. The ball hasn't gotten that very far away from Seeger. He's kept it in front of him, but Pomeroy's secondary lead has been critical here for the Collegians, getting himself on third base with 2 outs.
1-2 from Richie to Taylor. The pitch. Curveball, strike 3 looking. Taylor didn't like the call. He's going back to the dugout in disagreement. We head to the top of the 8th. Collegians leading the Slammers 4-1. Back for the top of the 8th, Gabe Gioso still out there for the Collegians, his 3rd inning of relief. First pitch, a strike against the DH Bailey. He has 5, 6, and 7 this inning.
And all of them have been strikeouts, 5, 6, and 7. 9 times they came to the plate, 9 times they struck out.
Second pitch misses. It's 1-1. Yeah, 3 sombreros down the middle of the lineup for these Slammers. This pitch almost slammed into the head of Bailey.
And only 2 of those 9 strikeouts did the batter actually lift his bat off of his shoulder for a swinging strike 3. 2-1 from Gioso.
That pitch is strike. It's 2-2. So 0 for 9, 4, 5, and 6. Or I'm sorry, 5, 6, and 7 with 9 strikeouts. Gioso trying to make it 0 for 10 with 10 strikeouts. Gioso's 2-2. That's grounded over to the third baseman on one hop. Great play there. Pomeroy over to first to Taylor. That's out number 1. Really nice pickup on the slick hop by Dawson Pomeroy.
He took a lot of ground balls before yesterday's game with Coach Eddie Toledo trying to get a better feel of that hot corner over there. Had played a little infield all around at Barton Community College, and third base seems to be his position right now as he's sharing it with Danny David Linehan.
Gioso with an intimidating tactic, holding his glove over his face as he gets ready for this pitch. The first one in to Simmons is a strike. I'm sorry, this is the new catcher, Brady Seeger, who joined us recently behind the plate. This is his first plate appearance. Second pitch is called a ball. Collegians thought it was a strike. CU night here at the ballpark, non-league game, 9-inning affair. 1-1 pitch from Gioso is called a strike. It's 1-2. Contest between the Collegians and Slammers. Collegians 15-4 on the year coming into this one. 1-2 pitch from Gabe Gioso with the Louis Tiant leg twist, and it's fouled back to the screen by Seeger.
Gioso starting to feel himself a little bit here, as in his 2 1/3 inning of work, he has struck out 2 batters and has only walked 1, yet to surrender a hit.
1-2 again from Gabe Gioso. Quick pitch this time outside, and yes, really feeling the confidence right now, toying with the delivery. Perhaps a bit too much there as he missed wide.
Shades of what Connor Sharp was doing last night with his leg lift, as he would let it bounce a little like Japanese pitchers.
2-2 pitch. This grounded over the shortstop, Addy Kosh, on the roll across the diamond with the hop. That's an errant throw. Score at E6 as the runner reaches first. Seeger.
Looked like a poor route from Kosh as he came over on that ball. I'm not sure if he thought Pomeroy was going to cut him off in front, but because of that route, it forced a poor throw, and to first base goes Brady Seeger.
Yeah, off balance on the throw. Didn't get a chance to set his feet off of 1 foot, and that's why he didn't have the power on. It skipped in front of Taylor. First pitch to Pete, misses, and it's 1-0. Back pick by Bonar, not in time. And it's 1-1. I'm sorry, 2-0. 2-0. That pitch missed. A lot of distractions up here. The kids in the crowd tonight. 2-0 pitch from Gioso. That one grounded over the second baseman, Erickson. No play on the double play, but he still tries to go to second and gets the out to Addison Kosh. That was a really risky move by Brett Erickson. I thought his only play was to first. Still got the lead runner at second. Definitely not in time for the double play, as that ball was squibbed by Pete.
Yeah, I think we saw that from Luke Paulson a few times over at second base for the Slammers, and Erickson taking a page out of his book. Kosh looks like he was almost surprised. He came over to the bag, but the good throw by Erickson got the lead runner.
Good. It was a good thing he was there. And
yeah.
First pitch strike from Gioso.
Seeger was slow getting down to second base. I think that's why Erickson went for the opportunity to get the lead runner.
Josh Harned at the plate, down 0-1. This pitch misses. It's 1-1. He's got the 7-inch, 5-inch stirrups, it looks like. It's a great look, the black and white stirrups with the off-white uniform. Very classic look from these Slammers. 1-1 with 2 outs. Gioso lifts and fires. It's a strike, 1-2. Gioso hunting for his 3rd strikeout in relief. This is 3rd inning. Runner on first is Pete. 2 outs. 1-2 pitch from Gioso. Quick pitch. It's bounced over the first baseman, Taylor. He boots it. He's only plays back to Gioso, not in time. And that's an error on Mark Taylor, surrendering a second runner on base here for the Collegians as their defense has gotten a bit shaky in the 8th.
Can't say I've ever seen a pitcher cover first base and receive a throw like that in foul territory. Gioso did a nice job trying to get himself there and save save Taylor from a second error on the throw.
Well, the only time I remember a pitcher making a play in foul territory like that is between the legs. Mark Burley on opening day, and I think 2012 or 2013, one of the best plays in the history of baseball by a pitcher. I think Burley ended up winning the Gold Glove that year on opening day. And the communication between Taylor and Gioso there, because Gioso's a first baseman, I think he was a little more eager to cover first after Taylor's mistake, try and make up for it. Didn't matter, though. Taylor didn't have enough time. Infield playing back here with 2 outs. Nobody holding on the runners. Runners on first and second. First pitch, a strike to the center fielder, Quinn Brazel. Brazel has a walk and a single. He also lined out to the second baseman. 0-1 pitch from Gioso. This slapped right back to him. Gioso is going to take it over to Taylor. The awkward throw in time. Got the runner, and that's the 3rd out of the inning. An awkward play by Gabe Gioso where he was unsure whether to go overhand or underhand. Almost cost the Collegians, but it gets them out of the inning. It's 4-1 as we head to the bottom of the 8th. Back on CU Boulder night here in Boulder, Colorado, fans chanting the CU fight song between the innings as we're getting ready for the bottom of the 8th. Last chance perhaps for the Collegians to tack on. They're ahead 4-1 with Marcus Altman striding into the box. First pitch is skied down the first base line, foul. Right, yeah, that's what I thought, Patrick. I thought this was a pinch hitter. Danny David Linehan, maybe? No, I know.
So it would be Andrew Meadows, number 2.
Oh, that's Meadows. I was looking on deck. I don't know why I'm looking on deck when I'm trying to identify the hitter, but there we go. So Meadows taking a pinch hit at bat here.
We didn't see him all day yesterday in both games. Still healing up from that right ankle injury.
That pitch misses high. Re-injured that rather in Fort Collins on Sunday. Started that game and came out after re-injuring it on a single, which he hustled out. And that pitch hits the umpire right in the chest protector. I don't think I've ever seen that. Okay.
Well, I'm definitely going to have to go back and look at our Fate Brewery instant replay cam.
Appears Doug Hodges is okay behind the plate.
I don't know if he hit his mask, though.
That sounded like the chest protector, not the mask. Meadows at the bat, 2-1 the count. Hodges okay. Ritchie ready to go on the mound. 4th inning of relief work for him. Ritchie kicks and deals. This one fouled back by Meadows.
Replay shows it hit him in the right shoulder. Ouch.
Called it. I know my umpire sounds. I've heard them up close for too long. Is that Clausen coaching first base now? What's that
in
look?
Shorts.
Look at that look. That's a horrible look. Curveball, strike 3 against Meadows from Ritchie. Broke back front door on Meadows. I mean, the old rule, of course, and this is best examined by famous A's owner Coney Mack, who wore suits, could not step foot on the field because he was not wearing the uniform. And then we've got Nick Clausen out there in what looks like shorts and a flip-flop.
Yes, Cornelius McGillicuddy would have been very disappointed.
Yes, that's strike 1 on Erickson. Of course, Coney Mack could not pull any of his players from games, but in that day, player managers were much more common than player coaches, so he just had his players go out there and pull themselves. That's one of my favorites is you had player managers. I think Walter Johnson was even a player manager towards the end of his career. So if he got tired, he could just, I'm calling to the bullpen, I'm done on the mound.
You didn't see a lot of pitcher player managers.
Not many, but there were a few.
There were a few.
That pitch swung on. It's 1-2.
And I don't know that we'll ever see another player manager ever again.
I think there might be one again. 1-2 pitch to Erickson. He checks his swing. He went, and that's strike 3. So that is the 3rd strike to Erickson. He goes down swinging. 3 straight strikeouts for Ritchie with 2 outs now in the 8th. Yeah, what if Shohei Ohtani was a player manager as well? I mean, what can't that man do?
That would be very interesting to say the least. I don't know how he'd be able to communicate with his teammates, though. Eventually, over some time, his English would improve.
There are many American managers in Japanese baseball. In fact, one of them, a former, I think, Twins manager, got kicked out and was on ESPN the other day. It was such a good run by the umpire.
The guy with the long hair?
Yeah.
I did see that, yeah. Bobby Valentine managed over in Japan for a while.
I love that.
Wakamatsu.
Yeah, because if you're arguing with the umpires, your translator has to keep up so quick. Yell at the umpires, the umpire yelling back at you. This pitch skied over towards the first baseline by Kosh. It gets into foul territory and bounces on the warning track, foul ball. He's down 1-2 against Ritchie, who is seeking his 4th straight strikeout and 7th, I believe, of his performance.
And this is where the Collegians hitters need to make adjustments at the plate. Ritchie has been a lot more effective than Slammer starter Nate Schrader. And if they're going to tack on a few insurance runs, 3 runs by no means makes a safe lead here in this level. they're going to have to make those adjustments and get some base runners on, starting with Addison Kosh.
1-2. This lined right back up the middle, and it is caught by Quinn Brazil on the run coming in. Collegians 3 outs away from a victory. They're up 4-1 as we head to the top of the 9th. Back for the 9th inning in Boulder, Colorado. They lead 4-1. They are the Boulder Collegians. They're the home team. And Mark Goulart, who is a catcher by trade, is on the mound for the close, a la Buster Posey at Florida State. We have no idea what Mark Goulart throws. Do you, Patrick?
Gas?
Goulart's first pitch, a fastball. That's a strike. And what was it?
Gas.
91? 81? I was like, okay. We got the gun right next to us, but not as efficient as we'd like it to be. Second pitch by Goulart. It's a fastball that misses inside against Polson, the second baseman. He's got 2 singles, 2 for 4 on the afternoon. Last time up, popped up to Addison Kosh in the 6th. 1, 2, and 3 here in the 9th. First pitch or third pitch here from Goulart misses. It's 2-1.
Gabe Joseph did a fantastic job in 3 innings of work to hold this lead for Jordan Kyle. In his 3 innings, did not give up a hit or an earned run, walked 1 and struck out 2.
Goulart misses inside. It's now 3-1. Collegians blew a save yesterday in the first half of their doubleheader. That was Dawson Pomeroy on the mound. They haven't found a closer yet this season. Hasn't cost them. That's a strike, and the count goes full at 3-2.
I think one of those potential closers could be upstairs with us right now. And that man's name, sorry, Dave Neal, is not Dave Neal. Could be Mitch Trenka.
3-2 pitch. This one lined into center field. Coming on is Nitze. It gets down in front of him. It's a leadoff single for Polson, and here we go in the 9th.
That's Polson's 3rd hit of the ball game. He's done a nice job setting the table for the Slammers in his 5 plate appearances.
Collegians play again, a doubleheader tomorrow at Double Angel Field. That's the next game. We've been talking about it all weekend. 5 games over 3 days, and that's certainly taken its toll on the pitching staff, and that's maybe why you see Mark Goulart in this spot in a 3-run game. First pitch here to Safrenik is a ball, and with a runner on in a 4-1 game, he'll be making sure he checks everything here. 1-0 from Gooley. That misses. It's 2-0.
And after Sunday's doubleheader, there is a game on Tuesday at Stanley Lake against the Rough Riders. And then on Wednesday, up in Sterling Field, is the Rocky Mountain Baseball League All-Star Game, where we should see several of the Boulder Collegians on display.
1-0 pitch. That one is a strike. It's 2-1. And Goulart behind 2-1, quickly dealing on the mound, checks the runner on first. Polson, that's a swing, and it's strike 2, 2-2. Goulart's got the top of his jersey, maybe most of his jersey, unbuttoned, and you can see the upper portion of his chest just flapping as he throws the ball.
The Portuguese Pitbull is looking strong here in the top of the 9th.
2-2 pitch, strike 3 from Mark Goulart. Collegians 2 outs away.
After the Rocky Mountain Baseball League All-Star Game on Wednesday, come back here. We've got back-to-back doubleheaders on Thursday and Friday.
And then some time off for the Collegians as they head towards 4th of July.
That's right, and then we've got even more 4th of July games. Doubleheader on the 4th, 5th, and 6th.
Goulart with a first pitch strike against Munn. Munn's got a single that was all the way back in the first inning. He is 1 for 4 in the game. His last time fouled out to the catcher Brett Bonar. Runner on first is Polson. He reached on a leadoff single. 0-1 pitch is way wide, and Mark Goulart has a laugh about it. Just a bit outside, right, Patrick?
I was waiting for you to say it. Although it was because it was a right-handed hitter, we might even say just a bit inside. Or just a bit behind.
Didn't really work. Collegians dugout up in arms laughing as well. That you can afford in a 4-1 game. The tying runner is in the on-deck circle. That is Helton. 1-1 pitch. Munn crushes this into center. Moving back is Nincy. He settles under it, and that is the second out.
Nice job indeed by Nincy to settle under it, get himself in a throwing position, just in the off chance Luke Paulson wanted to try to tag up and go to third base.
Brings in Helton with 2 outs in the 9th. He's 0 for 3 with a walk, has struck out twice and grounded out to the second baseman. Collegians 1 out away from a 3-game win streak after going 0-3 on a little 3-game losing streak. Goulart's first pitch to Helton is a strike. They're 15-4 on the year. This is a non-league game for the Collegians against the Slammers. Tomorrow's games against... Who are they against, Patrick?
The Game Day Saints.
The Game Day Saints are both league games. Second pitch is a strike from Mark Goulart. Patrick and I will have those broadcasts for you on the Boulder Collegians YouTube feed, so stay tuned for that. I know it's a road game, but we'll get that up and running for all of you tuning in. 1 pitch away, Mark Goulart, 0-2 against Helton. Collegians lead 4-1. Runner on second is Polson. 0-2 pitch. It's a bit high. So Mark Goulart looking good in his first appearance for the Collegians, pitching-wise. The Portuguese Pitbull, love that name, Patrick. Dealing to his fellow catcher, Brett Bonar, as Mark Goulart's done a great job behind the plate for the Collegians. Now he's in front of it pitching. 1 strike away, 0-2. 2 outs, 4-1 Collegians lead. And a late time is called by Helton at the bat.
Goulart is very proudly Portuguese, has been following the World Cup, is absolutely pumped, and ordered himself a Ronaldo jersey. So he's proud to be Portuguese, and, well, he's a pit bull. Just look at him.
0-2 from Gooley. That's in the dirt. It's 1-2. One-two from Gooley. That's inside. Gooley will do 2-2. Gooley 1 strike away still against Helton. Runner on second is Polson, reached on a leadoff single. His 2-2 pitch. Strike 3. Collegians win. 3-game win streak. Collegians move to 16-4 on the year. And they beat the Slammers by the count of 4-1 tonight. Story of the game was Jordan Kyle. We already caught up with Jordan Kyle a little bit ago during the broadcast. So we're going to catch up with somebody else here, even though Jordan Kyle is clearly the player of the game. Patrick Lyons is running down to the field. We're going to see who we can grab. The player of the game is Jordan Kyle. 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 11 strikeouts. It was the pitching performance of the year for the Collegians. Patrick running down to the field right now. Collegians out-hit the Slammers tonight by the count of 9-6. 2 errors apiece on each side. As the Collegians took this one 4-1 from the Slammers. Patrick Lyons downstairs, getting set to catch up with Dawson Pomeroy. Jordan Kyle, the player of the game, with 11 strikeouts. Pomeroy, not so bad himself, reaching base 3 times, a single, a double, and a walk. Patrick's downstairs right now with him. We send it down to Patrick Lyons downstairs with Dawson Pomeroy.
Thank you, Jake. Here with Dawson Pomeroy, 2 for 3 today. Scored a run, game tire, had the game-winning RBI. How did you feel at the plate today?
Felt really good. Saw a lot of fastballs. Just kind of hit the ball where they weren't, so it felt good out there today.
You're one of the newest Collegian players on the team, and you've made an immediate impact. It seems to be very patient at the plate. What is your approach when you go up there?
I just try to see what they're throwing, how they're throwing it. You know, it kind of starts on the on-deck circle, getting your timing down, and then just try to look for your pitch, and when you get it, you got to attack it.
You got in the starting lineup today after coming in the game, blowing the save, but then still getting the win. How did it feel to be able to have an opportunity to come back out here and make an impact again?
It was good. It was really good. You know, it was tough yesterday, but happy we got the win, and then today just bounced back and felt good.
2 wins on Sunday, tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you very much. Back to you up in the booth, Jake.
That's Patrick Lyons downstairs. We'll have broadcast of tomorrow night's doubleheader against the Game Day Saints down at Double Angel Field. Make sure to tune in to the Boulder Collegians YouTube page. Patrick and I will be down there for that broadcast. So once again, Collegians win tonight by the count of 4-1. They're on a 3-game win streak after losing 3 straight. Their record moves to 16-4 on the year now after tonight's game. Looking forward to talking to you guys tomorrow night. Patrick and I will have that call once again. Stay tuned to the Boulder Collegians Twitter page to find out where that link is. It'll be up on Facebook as well. Signing off for my partner Patrick Lyons, I'm Jake Shapiro. We'll see you tomorrow.